Lord of the Undead, the strongest profession, Dragon Kingdom. Riverside City Second Middle School. Brother Faye, the job transfer ceremony is about to begin. I'm so nervous. Although the success rate of the job transfer ceremony has reached 100%. But the success rate of changing to a main combat profession is less than 1/10. It's really too low. Lin Fei glanced at Fatty Shu, who was beside him and was thinking casually, but did not answer. Shu Hui's fat face trembled as he continued to buzz in Lin Fei's ears. Not to mention the main combat profession, it is also difficult to change to an auxiliary profession. Most people can only change careers into lifestyle occupations. Farmer, blacksmith, culinary, herbalist, miner. It would be cool if I changed my profession to these professions. Brother Fei, I'm so nervous now. Brother Fei, do you have any tips for changing jobs? Brother Fei, why don't you speak? Lin Fei ignored Fatty Shu, who kept talking beside him. He looked towards the huge six-pointed star formation in the center of the job transfer square. There is a trace of expectation in the eyes since transmigrating to Blue Star. I have lived here for more than 10 years. He has completely integrated into this world, also have a clear understanding of the world. This is a world where games and reality merge. The area is 10,000 times larger than the Earth. Humanity has entered an era of job transfer for all people. The order is subverted and demons are rampant. There are also secret realm, dungeons, abyss, and countless more. Terror and treasure coexist, danger and opportunity go hand in hand. Only by becoming a professional can you continue to become stronger and control your own destiny. Everyone will change jobs and become a professional in their senior year of high school. After becoming a job changer, you can conquer secret realm, clear dungeons, or kill monsters in the wild. Obtain experience points, materials, equipment, upgrade your level, become proficient in skills, and enhance your strength. There are all kinds of professions in this world, but they can generally be classified into 3 categories. The first category is the main combat professions, such as warriors, mages, archers, etc. Main combat occupations are the most popular. However, the number is scarce, and the probability of successful job transfer is less than 1/10. The second category is auxiliary professions, such as healers, pharmacists, enchanters, magic prop makers, etc. Although the auxiliary professions are not as popular as the main combat professions, they are still popular. Whether it is to conquer secret realm, clear a dungeon, or go to the wild to kill monsters, auxiliary professions are indispensable. There are even times when you would rather lose an output than lack an auxiliary. The success rate of job transfer for this type of profession is about 2 out of 10, which is only slightly higher than that of main combat professions. The third category with the largest number of job changes is life-related occupations. Farmer, blacksmith, cook, herbalist, miner, etc. are all life occupations. If you change your job to a lifestyle occupation, you will most likely be able to stay at the bottom of the pyramid for the rest of your life. It's pretty good to be able to make ends meet and survive. Of course, there is no strongest profession, only the strongest people. There are garbage main battles and there are divine level supports. In the history of Blue Star, there were even divine level life professionals, who were also very powerful. Therefore, whether a career changer is strong or not depends not on the profession but on the individual. Lin Yong withdrew his gaze from the six-pointed star formation and glanced around. The stands in the square were filled with students of the same level as him, about 500 people, who would all be changing jobs with him today. Seeing that Lin Fei ignored him, Fatty Shu next to him turned his head to the other side and said flatteringly to Liang Jia next to him. "Sister, in this class of ours, apart from Brother Fei, you have the best grades. Awakening combat professions are definitely within reach. Aren't your parents both majoring in combat professions? Didn't they tell you some tricks before coming here? Let me reveal it to my brother." Liang Jia's performance was second only to Lin Fei among this class of students. After being severely punished by Liang Jia for being rude, Shu Wei changed his name and called her eldest sister. Liang Jia had a cold face and was too lazy to pay attention to this annoying fat man. But the fat man didn't realize it at all and kept talking to himself. I was so annoyed by him that I said impatiently, "There is no secret to awakening a profession, it all depends on luck. No one dares to say that they will definitely be able to awaken the main combat profession, and I am no exception. Of course Shu Wei understands this. I just have a little bit of luck in my heart. I wanted to say something more, but when I met Liang Jia's cold gaze, I couldn't help but shudder, and the fat on my body trembled. Okay, stop talking. Lin Fei patted Shu Hui's shoulder and pointed at the principal, who walked up to the podium step by step. The job transfer ceremony is about to begin. What profession can I awaken? I will know the results soon. Shu Wei immediately shut up after hearing this. Sitting upright, he followed everyone's gaze and looked at the ceremony platform in the job transfer square. Jin De, the principal of Riverside City No. 2 Middle School, stood on the podium with a serious expression and began to speak. Dear students, after 3 years of high school study, you have mastered all the theoretical knowledge about professionals. Today is the day when you officially change jobs and become professionals. You already know what you should know, so I won't talk nonsense here. Now, please keep quiet. Next, students whose names are read will be asked to enter the job transfer circle in an orderly manner and transfer jobs. As Principal Jin De spoke, he turned to look at the 3 people next to the 6-pointed star formation, as if asking if the job transfer ceremony could begin. These 3 people are mages sent from above, responsible for presiding over the transfer ceremony of Linjiang No. 2 Middle School. The leader nodded towards Principal Jin De as a response. Jin De understood and signaled the dean next to him to start calling the names. The first one, Wang Lin. The dean's voice echoed in the professional square. The first one whose name is read. Wang Lin shuddered, his heart pounding. He walked down the stands nervously and entered the huge 6-pointed star formation. After Wang Lin entered the magic circle, a mage injected power into the magic circle and activated the job transfer magic circle. 12 golden light pillars instantly rose from the magic circle. Then countless light points emerged, filling the inside of the magic circle and drowning Wang Lin's figure. After a stick of incense, life occupation, cook. Wang Lin turned pale and almost fainted. Cook? Isn't this just a cook? He actually changed his job and became a cook, and now he was doomed. Several classmates who were familiar with him also felt sorry for him. Wang Lin actually changed his profession and became a cook. What a bad luck. His grades are obviously good. Even if he doesn't switch to a main combat profession, he should at least be an auxiliary. Cooking is probably the worst level among the lifestyle professions. Wang Lin left the magic circle in despair. Sha Wei, whose name was called for the second time, immediately entered the 6-pointed star formation. Principal Jin De walked down the stage and came to the 3 hosts of the magic circle. He glanced at Wang Lin with a little regret and sighed. What a shame for this kid. His results rank among the top 50 among these people. It would be great if we could awaken the main combat profession. I didn't expect him to be a cook. What a pity, what a pity. The 3 hosts of the magic circle were not surprised. Du Wei, the leader, said lightly, although the success rate of the job transfer ceremony has increased to 100%. But no one can say for sure what career each person can change into. Some people have very poor grades, but in the end they change careers and become powerful main combat professions. Some people have excellent grades and turn into lifestyle careers. It's all impossible to say, it all depends on luck. Principal Jinde nodded in agreement. This is not the first time this has happened. But every time I see it, I still feel a pity in my heart. Just listen to Du Wei continue to say. It's very difficult to awaken both main combat and auxiliary professions. Of these 500 people, at most only the first 50 can awaken the main combat profession. Including auxiliary occupations, there will not be more than 150 people. Most people will change careers into lifestyle careers. Principal Jinde nodded. The proportions of awakenings for the 3 major categories of professions are the same every year. Even if there are differences, they are almost the same. He had already been mentally prepared. However, he still said with a hopeful look on his face, I hope we can awaken a few more main combat professions this year. It would be better if someone could awaken the hidden profession. Du Weixin said you want to eat shit. Hidden professions are too rare, he said in a nonchalant tone. Riverside City can only have 1 in 2 or 3 years at most. In the past 5 years, there has only been one job changer who awakened his hidden profession. As he said that, he glanced at Jinda meaningfully and continued. I forgot to mention that the job changer who awakened the hidden profession seems to be the student of Linjiang No. 2 middle school last year. Jinda smiled and nodded proudly. The student named Lin Shui became a sensation in Riverside City after awakening to his hidden profession. And in the subsequent college entrance examination, he also achieved very excellent results and directly entered Longguo Vocational University. The previous principal was promoted because of her. I also became the principal from the vice principal. Jinda smiled, turned his gaze to Lin Fei in the stands, and said with some hope. The student who awakened his hidden profession last year is named Lin Shui. She also has a younger brother named Lin Fei, who has very good grades and will also participate in the job transfer ceremony this year. I don't know if he has any hope of awakening his hidden profession. Du Wei smiled and said nothing. For 2 consecutive years, students in Riverside City have awakened to hidden professions. Your dream must be too sweet. Again, career awakening depends entirely on luck. It does not mean that if the elder sister awakens a hidden profession, the younger brother will have a high probability of awakening a hidden profession. Quite the opposite. There are countless examples of relatives of hidden professionals awakening to life-type professions. Seeing that Du Wei was just silent, Jinda immediately understood what he meant. I also sighed in my heart. My own ideas are indeed a bit whimsical. Linjiang No. 2 middle school had a hidden professional last year and had great luck. How could someone switch to a hidden profession this year? Let's pray that more main combat professions can be awakened this year. This way, it will be easier for you to do business. While Jinda and Du Wei were chatting, the job transfer ceremony was still going on. Mage, please, you must let me awaken the mage. My requirements are not high. I just need to awaken auxiliary profession, but it must not be a lifestyle profession. The student whose name was read. Their expressions were full of tension and anticipation. They gradually entered the 6-pointed star array and awakened their profession. Yang Hai, job transfer completed, lifestyle occupation, farmer. Next, Qian Yu, job transfer completed, lifestyle occupation, herbalist. Next, Wang Zhuang, the job transfer is completed, the main combat profession is martial artist. Next, Lu Yang. The serious-looking dean kept writing and drawing while taking roll call, recording the transfer status of each student. Every time he announces it, it means that someone has completed the job change. I finally changed my job. It's great, martial artist. I have practiced martial arts in the martial arts gym for 10 years without any fuss. Is this the attribute panel? Automatically comprehend 2 skills, Thai pants are hot. I'll go. Why am I a living profession? Even if it's not the main battle profession, just give me an auxiliary profession. It's cold. I have no choice but to live and work in the city for the rest of my life. Warrior, I am so lucky to be able to awaken my main battle profession despite my poor grades. Some are happy and some are sad. Most people awaken to life-related careers. Only a few people change careers to become main combat and auxiliary professions. In the stands, Fatty Shu watched as the people around him were named and left one after another. It's going to be my turn soon. I was so nervous that my heart was pounding and I felt a little out of breath. Unconsciously, he pulled up Lin Fei's sleeves and said pitifully, "Brother Fei, look, a lot of people with good grades have awakened to life-related careers. What do you think a scumbag like me should do? If brother is really unfortunate enough to awaken to a life-related career, Brother Fei, don't forget to give me a hand. Awakening your profession depends entirely on luck and is not controllable at all." Lin Fei didn't know how to comfort him. I had no choice but to change the subject. What career do you most want to change into? Speaking of which, Fatty Shu immediately became energetic and said non-stop. Of course it's an assassin. You don't have to fight the monsters head-on, just hide in the grass and trick them from behind. Or a mage too. When I throw out a skill, I will kill a bunch of monsters so that none of them can enter my body. If it's a supporting profession, the medical staff can barely accept it. All the pressure is given to my teammates, and I am only responsible for treating their injuries. Either hide and be evil, or put pressure on teammates. I just don't want to fight the monster head on. You are too stubborn. Lin Fei glanced at Fatty Shu speechlessly. Then I listened to the dean on the podium read. Next, Liang Jia. Liang Jia, who was beside Fatty Shu, immediately stood up. After taking a deep look at Lin Fei, he walked down the stand with graceful steps. Fatty Shu looked at Liang Jia's beautiful back and whispered in Lin Fei's ear. Brother Fei, what kind of career do you think the eldest sister can change into? I'm not a god, how can I count this? Lin Fei rolled his eyes at Fatty Shu angrily. However, he had an intuition that Liang Jia's awakening career would not be bad. Guess. There's nothing to lose if you guess wrong. Fatty Shu rubbed his chin, pretending to be wise, and said with narrowed eyes, Sister, your head has been cold all day long, maybe you will change your job to become a snow girl. Well, a martial artist is also possible. After all, she is a girl. She is proficient in taekwondo and jiu-jitsu, and has extremely high strength. My size advantage cannot be used in front of her. Lin Fei was too lazy to pay attention to him and turned his attention to the six-pointed star array. Within the six-pointed star circle, as the 12 light pillars rose, Liang Jia's figure was covered in golden light. Not a few seconds passed. The golden light within the magic circle became even more dazzling. Countless golden light points flew out of the magic circle. At the top, a tall and mighty golden warrior is pieced together, standing with a sword. The vision of job transfer. When Fatty Shu saw this light and shadow, his eyes widened and he shook Lin Fei's arm vigorously. Brother Fei, am I right? The eldest sister actually caused a vision of job transfer. Lin Fei nodded. You read that right, it is indeed a job change phenomenon. It is said that only the awakening of rare professions and hidden professions can trigger the phenomenon of job transfer. Fatty Shu stared at the golden soldier, his voice trembling with excitement. Tell me, is it the rare profession or the hidden profession that the eldest sister has awakened? Lin Fei thought for a while and replied. There is a high probability that it is a rare profession, and the abnormalities caused by hidden professions are even greater. That's pretty awesome. Fatty Shu looked envious, wishing that he was the one staying in the magic circle now. He rolled his eyes again and smiled at Lin Fei beside him. Brother Fei, tell me, does the eldest sister really have any tips for changing jobs? How else would it be possible to awaken a rare profession? When she comes back, you have to ask her with me. I don't want to ask for more. Sister, I want to awaken a rare profession. I will be satisfied if you give me a main battle profession. Lin Fei was speechless. The figure of the golden warrior outside the job transfer circle lasted for a stick of incense before slowly dissipating. Liang Jia also followed closely and walked out of the magic circle. Liang Jia, the main combat type rare profession, swordsman. The dean read out Liang Jia's awakening career with excitement on his face. This is the first rare main combat profession awakened today. Maybe it's the best profession to awaken this year. Everyone in the stands has long been attracted by this vision of job change. After hearing what the dean said, he was even more shocked and envious. Damn it. The main combat type rare profession is incredible. Swordsman. A job with great potential. If I can awaken to this profession, I will definitely prosper all the way from now on. This should be the best profession to awaken this year. Everyone in the stands was envious. The three mages who presided over the circle also nodded. Du Wei congratulated Principal Jin. Principal Jin, congratulations. One of the students has awakened a rare main combat profession. And he's also a swordsman with endless potential. You will definitely be commended by the higher authorities. Jinda was equally excited, but he still waved his hands humbly. No, I just barely made it. Du Wei smiled, but he couldn't tell that Jinda was just being self-effacing. Only 3 or 5 people in Riverside City can awaken rare professions a year. Average to a dozen high schools. There is less than one among the 3 high schools. Not to mention that Liang Jia awakened as a swordsman with unlimited potential. Just her. Linjiang No. 2 Middle School can firmly enter the top 3 in this year's ranking. If no one awakens to the hidden profession this year, it is not impossible to compete for first place. Jinda obviously also understands this truth. My heart is filled with joy. High school rankings are all included in the principal's assessment. If I get a few more rare professions, I might be able to be promoted again. Different from the excited crowd, Liang Jia still looked cold. Walking back to the stands with a graceful step. Swordsman, a rare profession that focuses on combat. Although it is not a hidden profession, it is enough for me to get a good score in the college entrance examination in a week's time. Have a chance to hit Longguo Vocational University. Liang Jia was thinking in her heart. Her goals have always been clear. Since entering high school, I have been working hard towards Longguo Vocational University. Just sat back in my seat. Xu Wei, who was standing next to her, immediately gave her a thumbs up and said with a stern look on his face, he changed his profession and became a rare professional swordsman in the main combat category. Sister-in-law is really awesome. My little brother is so impressed that he is so impressed. He came closer and asked in a low voice, Sister, if you have any tips for awakening rare professions, please tell me about it. Roll. Liang Jia gave a quick reward. Fatty Shu was afraid that she would get angry next second, so he quickly moved closer to Lin Fei. He winked at Lin Fei again and motioned to help him. Lin Fei pushed Fatty Shu away with a look of disgust on his face, not bothering to pay attention to him. I don't even know what to say to this fat man. How many times have I told him? Awakening a career depends entirely on luck, but this guy just doesn't want to give up. There is really nothing we can do against him. Lin Fei shook his head. Then I heard the dean read his name on the podium. Next, Lin Fei. It's my turn. Lin Fei's originally calm heart also showed traces of nervousness. After all, this job transfer is really important, as it will determine how high you can reach in the future. He took a deep breath. Calm mood. He stood up and walked down from the stands, heading towards the six-pointed star formation. Fatty Shu also reacted and shouted at Lin Fei's back, Brother Fei, come on. He turned to look at Liang Jia again and said with a playful smile. Sister-in-law. The time has come to avenge the past. In the past 3 years, your grades have been suppressed by Brother Fei. You must be very unhappy. This time I awaken my profession, I might have a chance to surpass Fei Zhe. Of course, I still stand firmly on Brother Fei's side. However, if you can tell me some tips on awakening the profession, I can consider turning my head to support you. Boring. Liang Jia was too lazy to deal with this nervous fat man. Nor would he make this kind of comparison with Lin Fei. She has always had only one goal, and that is to be admitted to Longguo Vocational University. But she was still curious about what profession Lin Fei could awaken. If it is also a main combat occupation, you can consider forming a team together during the college entrance examination. All the students in the stands also looked at Lin Fei. His eyes were full of curiosity. Liang Jia, who ranks second in grade, has awakened a hidden profession in the main battle category. Lin Fei is number 1 in his grade. What kind of career will he awaken? Moreover, Lin Fei's sister awakened to her hidden profession last year. As a younger brother, he shouldn't be too bad, right? Even if you know that the awakening profession is uncontrollable, it all depends on luck. Everyone still couldn't help but have higher expectations for Lin Fei. Principal Jinda also stared at Lin Fei with hope. Hope he can give himself a surprise. If Lin Fei could also awaken the rare main combat profession, then Linjiang No. 2 Middle School can securely take first place this year. In the eyes of everyone, the six-pointed star array is activated. 12 beams of light rose from the magic circle, and countless golden lights flooded Lin Fei's figure. Within the magic circle, Lin Fei closed his eyes. It feels like countless energy is pouring into my body. A trickle of hot water flows through the body, making it very comfortable, like entering a mother's arms. Lin Fei was immersed in it and gradually forgot himself. Outside the magic circle, an extremely bright light burst out, filled the entire job transfer square. The bright golden light was so dazzling that everyone couldn't open their eyes for a while. Wait for the golden light to slowly dissipate. Everyone opens their eyes. I found that the originally bright skies suddenly darkened. There were also waves of dark wind blowing from all directions, making people shudder. Why is it getting dark? It's so cold. Why is the wind so cold? I don't know why, but I always feel a little weird. Look, What is that in the sky? Everyone looked up. I saw dark clouds rolling in the sky. Weird figures were faintly revealed. Ghosts, skeletons, licks, zombies. The weird figures are getting clearer and clearer, and they are so densely packed that it makes people shudder. Many people could not help but shrink their necks, with fear in their eyes. What a big vision. Brother Fei is indeed Brother Fei, he actually caused such a big noise. Fatty Shu sat in the stands with wide eyes and an excited tone. Brother Fei actually caused such a big vision. The entire sky was obscured by visions. This awakened must be a hidden profession. Sister, it's such a pity. It seems that Brother Fei has surpassed you again this time. He has caused more visions than you. Fatty Shu said with excitement and admiration on his face as he winked at Liang Jia beside him. Liang Jia ignored him at all. I was sure that Lin Fei's awakening must be a hidden profession. I just don't know what the specific occupation is yet. But none of this matters. Lin Fei's awakened hidden profession will be known later. What matters is, how should I invite Lin Fei to form a team with me to take the college entrance examination? If he can invite Dao Linfei to form a team with him, then he will be more confident about attacking Longguo Vocational University. Liang Jia kept thinking in her heart about how to impress Lin Fei. Hidden profession. It's a hidden profession. Principal Kinder saw this horrifying scene. Instead of showing any fear on his face, he was extremely excited. A vision of this scale must be a hidden profession. Moreover, the anomaly caused by Lin Fei's job change was even greater than the anomaly that occurred when Lin Shui changed job last year. This shows that Lin Fei's awakened hidden profession is more powerful than Lin Shui. Great, this is an unexpected surprise. Jinda couldn't control it anymore. A look of ecstasy appeared on his face. In his previous position, he was promoted because Lin Shui awakened to a hidden profession and performed well in the college entrance examination and entered Longguo Vocational University. Now Lin Shui's younger brother Lin Fei has also awakened his hidden profession. And judging from the scale of the phenomenon, it was even more powerful than Lin Shui's hidden profession. If you take the college entrance examination, you have a great chance of getting good results and entering Longguo Vocational University. My own promotion is just around the corner. The more Jinde thought about it, the more excited he became. I began to think in my mind that I would protect Lin Fei during the period before the college entrance examination and ensure that he could get a good score in the college entrance examination. Du Wei and the three people beside him also looked shocked. The elder sister has awakened a hidden profession, and the younger brother has also awakened a hidden profession. This is extremely rare even in the Dragon Kingdom. I have witnessed history this time. The vision that covered the clouds and the sun exuded a terrifying atmosphere, suppressing everyone and making them breathless. It lasted for a full 10 minutes before the dark clouds slowly dispersed. No longer obscured by dark clouds. The sun shines on the job transfer square, everyone's vision is bright again, and the depression in their hearts slowly disappears. After a while of silence, the excited and trembling voice of the teaching director sounded in the job transfer square. Lin Fei, the only hidden profession, Lord of the Undead. There was silence in the square again. Hidden profession. Still the only hidden profession. This means that unless Lin Fei dies, no second person will awaken to the Undead Lord profession. It's unclear how powerful this class is, but less is certain. Only Lin Fei has this kind of profession in the entire Blue Star. After a moment of silence, there was a burst of noise. It's really a hidden profession. He deserves to be the top boss in his grade. He's awesome. I'm so upset. You're so awesome. How can we, those of us who work in awakening life professions, survive? My sister has awakened her hidden profession, and my brother has also awakened his hidden profession. It's unbelievable, it's incredible. Awakening the hidden profession, entering Longguo Vocational University is definitely within your grasp. Everyone sitting in the stands was talking a lot. The huge gap makes them unable to be jealous, and they only have envy and admiration in their hearts. Witnessing the birth of hidden professionals with their own eyes makes them even more proud. The only hidden profession? Good. Inside the magic circle, Lin Fei had a faint smile on his face. The only hidden profession is rarer than the normal hidden profession. In the entire Dragon Kingdom, only a few emerge in a year. A burst of excitement came over Lin Fei quickly calmed down. Ignoring the exclamations from the outside world, he opened his properties panel and checked. Name: Lin Fei. Occupation: Undead Lord, only. Level: 1, 0.00%. Life: 10. Strength: 10. Agility: 10. Mana: 20. Equipment: none. Backpack space: 0/10. Army: Undead Ghost. As the level increases, more arms can be unlocked. Skill: Bone Spur. Summon Undead Ghost. Bone Spur consumes 5 mana points to summon bone spurs from the ground to attack the enemy, causing physical damage to the target. Summon the Undead Ghost. Spend 10 mana points to summon an Undead Ghost. I have just changed jobs, so my level is currently level 1, and my 4-dimensional attributes are all the original 10 points. In the future, as you continue to defeat monsters and gain experience, your level will gradually increase, and your 4-dimensional attributes will continue to increase. My profession is the Undead Lord, and I can summon various undead troops to fight for me. But my level is too low now and I can only summon the undead skeleton. Only by increasing your level can you unlock more arms. Lin Fei secretly looked at it in his heart. Then he took another look at the 2 skills he had awakened after his job transfer. Bone Spurs and Summon Undead Ghosts. One is an attack skill that can cause physical attacks to enemies. One is the Summoning skill, which can summon the ghosts of the undead soldiers. Lin Fei couldn't wait to try these 2 skills. It's just that the occasion doesn't seem appropriate now. Lin Fei suppressed the curiosity in his heart, not in a hurry. After the job transfer ceremony is over, it's not too late to try your new skills. The golden light of the 6-pointed star array slowly dissipated, revealing Lin Fei's figure. Lin Fei took a step and walked out of the magic circle. The principal standing aside immediately greeted him with a smile and said with concern, "Classmate Lin Fei, how do you feel after changing jobs? Is there anything you don't feel comfortable with?" "Thank you, Principal. Everything is fine with me. There is nothing uncomfortable about me." Lin Fei was a little surprised by the principal's sudden enthusiasm, and replied after being stunned for a moment. "That's good, that's good." The principal's tone was gentle and very approachable. "If you encounter any problems, you can come to me at any time and I can help you solve it." Lin Fei has awakened the only hidden profession. There is great hope that I will get good results in the college entrance examination in a week's time and enter Longguo Vocational University. He must protect him. Du Wei and the other 2 people in the back looked at the principal, who was very enthusiastic about Lin Fei and felt very envious. The 2 principals of Linjiang No. 2 Middle School have been really lucky. A hidden profession was released last year. This year there is another unique hidden profession. Promotion is almost a certainty. I am so envious. Lin Fei thought about it and understood the reason for the principal's enthusiasm for him. "Thank you, Principal, for your concern. If there are any problems that cannot be solved, I will trouble you." "No trouble." The principal waved his hand and said with a caring smile, "If you encounter any problems, just come to me." Then he asked again, "Lord-type professions can summon soldiers to fight for themselves. What types of soldiers can you summon now?" "The troops I can summon now are undead ghosts." Lin Fei replied, and then used a skill to summon an undead ghost by consuming 10 points of mana. The blue ghost of the undead suddenly appeared in front of the 2 of them. Only its upper body was naked. His pupils were blood red and his ears were pointed. There are sharp tiger teeth on both sides of the lower jaw, the face is sharply angular, and a metallic silver diamond-shaped decoration hangs around the neck. There was a faint evil smile hanging on the corner of his mouth, looking wild and uninhibited, adding a bit of evil charm. The lower body showed a layer of mist, like a wisp of smoke rising. Suspended in the air, like a ghost. As soon as it appeared, the surrounding temperature immediately dropped a few points, as if a wisp of dark wind was passing through. The students in the surrounding stands looked at the ghost summoned by Lin Fei, and suddenly felt a chill on their necks. They shrank their heads, not daring to look at the ghost. The principal opposite was not afraid at all. Curious about the fighting power of this undead ghost, he raised his hand and punched out. This punch was so powerful that it was enough to break a wall. But falling on the ghost is like hitting the clouds. The fist penetrated the ghost's translucent body without causing any damage to it. The ghost was suddenly attacked and instinctively wanted to fight back. After Lin Fei noticed it, he quickly stopped him. It would be a lot of fun if he got into a fight with the principal. Is it immune to physical damage? The principal retracted his fist, squinted his eyes, smiled again, and praised Lin Fei. Not bad, very good. He was already afraid that Lin Fei would be proud, so he withheld the praise. He is a level 42 martial artist. An undead ghost of the lowest level is actually immune to physical damage caused by itself. This can no longer be described as very good. Go back and prepare for tomorrow's novice trial. I'm looking forward to your performance. The principal patted Lin Fei on the shoulder, his tone full of expectation. Well, I will prepare well. Lin Fei nodded. After putting the undead ghost into his backpack, he saluted the principal and walked back to the stands. When passing by the surrounding students, they all cast envious and odd glances. Lin Fei's awakening is the only hidden profession, destined to go higher and further than these people. Even the main combat professions cannot compare. Fatty Shu watched Lin Fei return to his seat with an expression of admiration. He gave 2 thumbs up and praised. Brother Fei, you are really powerful. The only hidden profession you have awakened is. When the vision was triggered just now, I was stunned. The vision is so cloudy that the entire Riverside City will be affected. Maybe by this time, it has already caused a sensation in the entire Riverside City. Fatty Shu raised his tone and his expression was very exaggerated. Lin Fei wasn't interested in this, and was thinking about the novice trial tomorrow. Lin Fei, congratulations, you have awakened the only hidden profession. Liang Jia next to him cast a kind look and smiled lightly. You are a rare profession in the main combat category, and you are also very good. Lin Fei replied humbly. Liang Jia wanted to mention to Lin Fei about forming a team for the college entrance examination, but was interrupted by Fatty Shu sitting in the middle. Brother Fei, you are the only hidden profession, and the eldest sister is also a rare main combat profession. It's my turn soon. I feel so unsure. When Shu Wei thought that it would be his turn soon, his whole body collapsed immediately, and he said pitifully, Brother Fei, do you have any secrets for awakening the only hidden profession? If you have any, please teach me. Brother, my requirements are not high. Just give me a main combat profession. Of course, it would be better if it could be a rare profession like eldest sister. This guy actually didn't give up. Lin Fei slapped his forehead and felt that this fat man was completely hopeless. But looking at his pitiful appearance, I couldn't bear to hit him anymore, so I casually said, when you wake up, just recite the main battle class silently 3 times. Really? Fatty Shu was overjoyed and almost jumped with excitement. Liang Jia next to him also cast a doubtful look when he heard this. Lin Fei nodded seriously. Really? That's great, Brother Fei, you are really my great benefactor. Fatty Shu received a positive answer, and he felt confident and no longer panicked at all. Lin Fei didn't know what to say when he saw that this guy really believed him. On the contrary, Liang Jia on the side was confused. When awakening, if you chant the main battle profession silently 3 times, can you really awaken the main battle profession? No matter what Liang Jia thought, she felt that Lin Fei was deceiving Shu Wei. But looking at Lin Fei's serious look, he was a little unsure. Next, Shu Wei. The dean's voice came. It was finally Fatty Shu's turn to awaken his profession. After hearing his name, he immediately raised his head and said to Lin Fei beside him, Brother Fei, brother is gone. Then he strode down the stands with great strides and confidently entered the 6-pointed star formation. Before going in, I whispered in my heart, main battle profession, main battle profession, main battle profession. As the light pillar within the magic circle rose, the golden light covered Shu Hui's figure, and he began to awaken his profession. Shu Wei, the job transfer is completed, the main combat profession is archer. The dean loudly announced Shu Hui's occupation. Liang Jia in the stands couldn't help being stunned after hearing this. The main combat profession has really awakened. Could it be that the trick Lin Fei mentioned really works? Her whole body was a little messy. Shu Wei inside the magic circle was full of excitement. Fei Zhe really didn't lie to himself. Reciting the main battle profession silently 3 times can really awaken the main battle profession. Although it is not the assassin profession that I have always wanted to do. But the archer is also a main combat profession. It is much stronger than auxiliary and daily life occupations. Fatty Shu jumped all the way back to the stands. He said to Lin Fei with excitement on his face, "Brother Fei, your knack is really amazing. Although it sounds a bit unreliable, it really made me awaken to the main combat profession." Lin Fei smiled. He was just perfunctory with Fatty Shu, telling him not to be so nervous. Unexpectedly, it was a mistake. He really awakened to his main battle profession. This can be considered a fool's blessing. Shu Wei came out of excitement and spoke non-stop in Lin Fei's ear. "Brother Fei, my profession is an archer. Although I'm not an assassin, I'm not a melee professional at all. I can hold a bow and arrow and attack enemies from a distance. When the time comes, I will stand far away and shoot 1 arrow at a time to ensure that the monster cannot enter my body." As he spoke, Fatty Shu made an archery gesture, and his mouth swished like he was shooting arrows. Lin Fei pulled him back to his seat and motioned him not to get too excited. Then he said, "I will take part in the novice trial tomorrow. I will go back and prepare well later." "Of course, I can't wait." Shu Wei nodded, and said to Liang Jia with great interest, "Sister, we can compete tomorrow to see who can gain experience and level up faster." After awakening to the main combat profession, Shu Wei became extremely confident and wanted to compete with Liang Jia. Naturally, Liang Jia would not pay attention to Shu Hui's childish competition. She has been thinking about how to ask Lin Fei to take the team test in order to impress Lin Fei and make him agree to form a team with her. But after much deliberation, I couldn't think of a suitable way to say it. Fortunately, there is still 1 week left before the college entrance examination. Not in a hurry either. For now, let's focus on tomorrow's novice trial. By the way, let's take a look at how powerful Lin Fei's awakened hidden profession is and how fast he can level up. The job transfer ceremony continues. More than an hour passed before all the more than 500 people present were transferred. As expected, most people awakened to life-related careers. Less than 50 people have awakened to the main combat profession. There are slightly more auxiliary occupations, but there are only about 80 people. But Jin De, the principal of Linjiang No. 2 Middle School, never stopped smiling. This year, Lin Fei awakened to his hidden profession. This is enough. Even if everyone else awakens to life-related professions, it doesn't matter to him. With Lin Fei here, it was enough for him to do business, and even let Linjiang No. 2 Middle School rank first in this year's results. Wait until everyone's job transfer is completed. Jinda walked onto the stage again. He said to everyone, "This year, another hidden professional was born in our Linjiang No. 2 Middle School. Very good, I'm very satisfied. When you go back later, you must be well prepared. Gather here tomorrow to participate in the novice copy trial." The principal said this. No more nonsense. Directly announce that the inauguration ceremony is over and they can leave. Lin Fei also said goodbye to Shu Wei, walked out of the professional square, left the school, and walked towards home. His family is a very ordinary civilian family. My parents are both life professionals. The level is not high, so he can only make a living by relying on his profession to support Lin Fei and his brother. Their life is very ordinary. However, this was the situation before Sister Lin Shui entered Longguo Vocational University. Ever since Lin Shui awakened to her hidden profession, achieved excellent results in the college entrance examination, and entered Longguo Vocational University. Their family has undergone earth-shaking changes. Not only moved from the civilian area to the villa area. And you can also get a monthly subsidy. Mom and Dad no longer work early in the morning and work late at night to make money to support the family. Home. Mom is anxiously waiting for the result of Lin Fei's job change. I said, "Can you sit down honestly and stop wandering around? It makes me dizzy." Dad complained to his mother, who was pacing back and forth in the living room. His mother glared at him and said dissatisfied, "Am I worried about my son? What do you think he will do if he awakens to his career? His grades are number 1 every year. What if he can't bear this blow? No way." The father scratched his head and said with confidence, "Xiao Shui has awakened the hidden profession, So my son must have a main combat profession no matter what. Who can say this well? My mother was still very worried and said, "Don't forget, career awakening is random. The probability of awakening the main combat profession is less than 1/10, while the possibility of awakening the life profession is fully 7 points. Just like the two of us, weren't all the people who awakened in life professions that year?" After listening to what my mother said, a trace of worry appeared in my father's eyes. He sighed and said, "Leave it to fate. We can't control this kind of thing." Suddenly he remembered something and said tentatively, "The whole Riverside City was covered with dark clouds just now. This must be a strange phenomenon caused by the job change. Looking at the scale of the phenomenon, it is bigger than last year when Xiao Shui awakened her hidden profession. Someone must have awakened her hidden profession. Tell me, could this be the result of my son's awakening profession?" After hearing this, my mother said decisively without thinking, "Impossible. Xiao Shui has already awakened his hidden profession, and the possibility that his son will also awaken his hidden profession is extremely slim. Have you ever heard of several cases where siblings have awakened their hidden professions? It must be the impression created by someone else's awakening of the hidden profession." Dad thought for a while and felt that what Mom said made sense, so he nodded. Just as he was about to say something, he heard movement from the door outside. "I'm back." A familiar voice came. "The sun is back." My parents became nervous. Their heartbeats were a few minutes faster than usual, and they were a little restless. They felt like they were sitting in the classroom waiting for the teacher to announce the final test results. They were extremely nervous. "I am curious about my son's career change. I am also worried that my son will be hit because he is awakening to a lifestyle career." Lin Fei opened the door and entered the living room. Seeing the dull expression on Lin Fei's face, his parents felt no joy at all, and their hearts suddenly trembled. "My son won't really be awakened to a career in life, right?" Dad frowned and looked at Mom, then asked, "Son, the job transfer ceremony is over?" "It's over." Lin Fei nodded, closed the door and sat down on the sofa next to him. "Then the profession you awakened is a lifestyle profession?" Dad asked tentatively. He did not dare to directly ask Lin Fei what profession he had awakened to, for fear that his son would be too embarrassed to tell him what profession his son had awakened to. "No," Lin Fei shook his head, "that seems to be an auxiliary occupation." When my parents heard that their son said that he was not awakening to a career in life, their hearts suddenly dropped by half. Auxiliary occupations are also good. Although it is not as good as the main combat profession, it is much better than the life profession. You don't have to stay in the city all your life. What I awakened is a hidden profession. Lin Fei looked calm and said casually. Mom and Dad were stunned. Hidden profession? My son couldn't have said it wrong. The parents looked in disbelief and asked in unison, "Son, have you really awakened your hidden profession?" Don't blame them for not believing it. The probability of siblings awakening their hidden professions at the same time is so small that not even a few of them can be found in the entire Dragon Kingdom. Lin Fei understood their surprise and didn't explain much. Instead, he directly showed his attribute panel to his parents. Lin Fei, Level 1, Undead Lord, only, Lord of the Undead, hidden profession. And it is the only hidden profession that is rarer. Mom stared at Lin Fei's attribute panel, froze on the spot in surprise, and murmured to herself unconsciously. Dad stood aside and rubbed his eyes in disbelief. After making sure that he had seen it correctly, an excited expression appeared on his face. My son has really awakened to his hidden profession. And it is an even rarer hidden profession. This is a great thing. Dad's blood surged all over his body, his face turned red, and he was so excited that he couldn't control himself. Then he remembered the vision that enveloped the entire Riverside City before, and asked quickly, "Son, you awakened a hidden profession. Were you the cause of the huge vision that enveloped Riverside City before?" "It should be me." Lin Fei touched his nose. When he changed jobs, he was staying inside the six-pointed star circle and didn't know what was going on outside. But later I heard Fatty Shu say that the strange phenomenon caused by his job change was indeed quite big. When my father heard this, he immediately determined that the extremely grand vision was caused by his son's change of job. I also thought that although my daughter also had visions when she changed jobs, the scale was much smaller than that of my son. With her awakened hidden profession, her daughter shined in the college entrance examination and entered Longguo Vocational University with excellent results. The son's change of job created a bigger vision than the daughter's. Doesn't this mean that the son's awakened profession is more powerful than the daughter's, and he has a great chance of entering Longguo Vocational University? Dad grinned heartily, walked to Lin Fei, patted him on the shoulder and said, "Well done, son. Keep up your hard work, prepare well for the college entrance examination in a week, get good results, and strive to enter Longguo Vocational University like your sister." Mom came to her senses at this time and nodded. "Your dad is right. Prepare well for the college entrance examination and get into the best Longguo Vocational University." Mom and Dad, don't worry, I will be well prepared. Lin Fei nodded. Longguo Vocational University ranks first among all vocational universities in Longguo, which has always been his goal. However, Longguo Vocational University is not easy to get into. In the past 10 years, only a few people from Riverside City have passed the exam. Even if you awaken a hidden profession, you may not be able to guarantee that you will be able to enter. So, in the week before the college entrance examination, Lin Fei must take it seriously and improve himself as much as possible. If I can advance to level 12 within a week, I have a great chance of getting admitted to Longguo Vocational University. But level 12 is not reliable. If you want to be 100% admitted to Longguo Vocational University, you need at least level 15. Lin Fei secretly calculated in his heart. My elder sister, Lin Shui, was promoted to level 16 within a week last year, and then was admitted to Longguo Vocational University. If you want to be sure of getting into Longguo Vocational University, you have to get level 15 to be sure. Tomorrow, all our newly transferred students will have to participate in the novice copy trial. Following other people's examples before, I can advance to level 7 or 8 in one go. If you want to improve, you have to go out to fight monsters or conquer dungeons or secret realm. I remember that my sister raised her level to level 8 in the novice dungeon trial last year, and then went out to fight monsters and conquer the secret realm dungeon. It took her a week to raise her level to level 16. I want to improve quickly before the college entrance examination, and I have to take this path. Lin Fei probably thought about what he should do in the next 7 days. My mother ran to the kitchen happily, preparing to cook a big meal to celebrate. When my parents changed careers, they all woke up to life-related careers. My father is a miner and my mother is a cook, before sister Lin Shui approached Longguo Vocational University. The whole family still lives in a civilian area. Their main source of income is from my father's mining business and my mother's breakfast shop, which she runs from dawn to dusk. It's very hard for the two siblings to grow up. It wasn't until my sister was admitted to Longguo Vocational University with excellent results that the family's living situation changed. They moved into a villa area and parents no longer had to work so hard. Half an hour later, a table of delicious, tasty and delicious dishes was served. Mom is a level 5 cook, so the dishes she makes are naturally delicious. Moreover, after officially becoming a professional, Lin Fei was able to find out that the dishes cooked by his mother had the property of mana restoration, which could restore the mana of the professional. However, this mana recovery attribute is too low. Even if Lin Fei ate very full, his mana was only restored to 1. This is the huge gap between life occupations and auxiliary occupations. Even if some life-related professions can help professionals recover mana, the recovery is too slow and too little. Eat and drink enough. Lin Fei put down his chopsticks and said to his parents, "Mom and Dad, I'm going to the practice room to familiarize myself with the skills." Their villa is equipped with a dedicated practice room. It's just been put on hold, and my parents both have lifestyle jobs and can't use it. Now that Lin Fei has changed his job to become a professional, the practice room can finally be put to use. The father nodded, and the mother said, "Son, don't practice too late, pay attention to rest." "I know, Mom." Lin Fei nodded. Then he got up and walked to the practice room. The walls of the practice room are made of special minerals. While isolating external sounds, it can also offset energy fluctuations caused by skill release. Open the Properties panel, and a transparent light curtain flashes in front of you. Name: Lin Fei. Occupation: Undead Lord, only. Level: 1, 0.00%. Life: 10. Strength: 10. Agility. 10. Mana. 11. Equipment. None. Backpack space. 1/10. Army. Undead Ghost. As the level increases, more arms can be unlocked. Skill. Bone Spur. Summon Undead Ghost. Bone Spur. Consumes 5 mana points to summon bone spurs from the ground to attack the enemy, causing physical damage to the target. Summon the Undead Ghost. Spend 10 mana points to summon an Undead Ghost. Previously, I summoned an Undead Ghost in the job transfer square, which consumed 10 mana points. I just ate dinner cooked by my mother, and my mana was restored by 1 point. So, now his mana is 11 points. You can also summon another Undead Ghost. Normally, it takes a day for the mana to recover. Lin Fei stared at his attribute panel and said silently, "However, I have already learned the meditation recovery method taught in school. Using the meditation recovery method, you can basically recover 20 points of mana in 5 hours. There are still about 10 hours left before the novice trial, which is enough for me to recover 40 points of mana. Then, I can summon a total of 6 undead ghosts to fight for me." Lin Fei's awakened profession is a summoner-like profession. Although there are also skills that allow you to fight. But there is no way to feel comfortable letting the summoned creature fight for you. He has already planned it. Use this night to summon 6 undead ghosts to fight for you. But now my level is only level 1, the 4-dimensional attributes of the summoned undead ghosts are not high, and the combat power is probably average. Even if 6 undead ghosts fight for themselves at the same time, it may not be easy to clear the novice copy. Just as Lin Fei was thinking about it, a complex mechanical sound suddenly sounded in his ears. It has been detected that the host successfully changed jobs and the system is being bound. System binding 30%. 0.70%. 0.100%. The strongest professional system has been successfully bound. System. Listening to the mechanical sound echoing in his ears, Lin Fei was stunned for a moment, and then he came to his senses. As a transmigrator, I naturally know the system very well. That's an outrageous cheating divine weapon. Especially in this world where everyone changes jobs, having a system is definitely even more powerful. It's just that I have been transmigrating for more than 10 years and have never awakened the system. I had given up all hope. Unexpectedly, it is now bound to the system. It turns out that the system can only be awakened after changing jobs. No wonder the system has not appeared for more than 10 years. When Lin Fei heard the mechanical sound of the system, he realized why he had never awakened the system. "You can bind the system after changing jobs, please tell me." "I have been disappointed for so long," Lin Fei complained in his heart. Then he said directly, "Start the system." He rubbed his hands, eager to find out what incredible functions the system had. "Sorry, the system rank 1 can only be activated after the host reaches level 15. Damn it. There are still conditions, you can only bind the system after changing jobs. Now that the system is bound, it actually needs to reach level 15 to start the system. Are you tying up a lonely person?" Lin Fei was extremely speechless. However, the system's next words finally brought him some comfort. "The host now has a novice gift package to be opened. You can open the novice gift package first. Big gift package for newbies, although I don't know what it is. However, it is better than nothing. At least, I am not tied up in loneliness." "Open the novice gift package," Lin Fei said angrily. He wanted to see what this new gift package was. Ding, open the novice gift package. Congratulations to the host for obtaining divine level talent, unlimited synthesis. Infinite synthesis. Lin Fei thinks this ability is a bit interesting. The property panel in front of you also changed after the novice gift package was opened. Name. Lin Fei. Occupation. Undead Lord, only. Level. 1. 0.00%. Life. 10. Strength. 10. Agility. 10. Mana. 11. Equipment. None. Backpack space. 1/10. Army. Undead Ghost. As the level increases, more arms can be unlocked. Skill. Bone Spur. Summon Undead Ghost. Bone Spur. Consumes 5 mana points to summon bone spurs from the ground to attack the enemy, causing physical damage to the target. Summon the undead ghost. Spend 10 mana points to summon an undead ghost. Talent: Infinite Synthesis. Synthesize any number and type of items and summons to obtain items with corresponding random abilities and corresponding random levels. Lin Fei stared at the introduction about unlimited synthesis abilities at the bottom of the attribute panel, and an idea suddenly came to his mind. What will happen if I merge 2 undead ghosts? Just do it. There is already an undead ghost summoned in the job transfer square in the backpack space. He spent another 10 mana points to summon a new undead ghost. The body of the undead ghost was translucent, floating in front of Lin Fei like nothing. Its current 4-dimensional properties are: Black Iron level undead ghost. Life: 10. Strength: 10. Agility: 20. Mana: 10. Skill: none. Lin Fei put it into the backpack space. With talent, unlimited synthesis, Lin Fei thought silently in his heart. The 2 undead ghosts in the backpack space merge into one, becoming one. Success. Lin Fei felt happy. Release the synthesized undead ghost from the backpack space. I saw this new undead ghost, its body became more solid, and the cold aura it exuded was deeper than before. Black Iron level undead ghost. Life: 20. Strength: 20. Agility: 40. Mana: 20. Skill: none. The 4-dimensional attributes of the 2 undead ghosts actually overlapped. Lin Fei was surprised when he saw the attributes of this new undead ghost. Compared with before, each attribute has doubled. This is already scary. I can summon 6 undead ghosts before the novice copy is opened. The attributes of 6 undead ghosts are superimposed, and the power can reach 60 points. With 60 points of strength, this is still comparable to a level 5 monster. Taking an undead ghost that is comparable to a level 5 monster to participate in the novice trial, it should be said that it is a piece of cake to pass the level. Lin Fei chuckled. He knew it. The simple difficulty boss in the novice copy is only level 4. If you take the undead ghost with 60 points of power to participate, you can completely defeat the boss. This is much better than taking 6 ordinary undead ghosts to participate. With this strength, it is absolutely easy to clear the novice dungeon of easy difficulty by yourself. It is not impossible to even challenge the novice dungeons of normal and difficult levels. Think so. Lin Fei is even more looking forward to tomorrow's novice copy trial. Now he was very motivated and immediately sat down cross-legged. Start following the steps taught by the teacher to meditate and restore your mana. Summon new undead ghosts as soon as possible to continue synthesis. I don't know how many levels I can improve after clearing the level. Longguo Vocational University. It was already late at night, but the whole campus was brightly lit. Lin Shui finished her day's practice and returned to the villa area where she lived. When I opened the door, I saw my best friend Qin Shuang lying on the sofa, crossing her legs, putting the snack in her hand to her mouth but never eating it. What are you thinking about? Lin Shui walked over curiously and sat on the edge of the sofa. Cher, you're back. When Qin Shuang heard the sound, she turned around and saw Lin Shui. She quickly got up, sat cross-legged on the sofa, pulled Lin Shui's shoulders and said, "You forgot. Today is the day for the job transfer ceremony. Today, all high schools in the Dragon Kingdom will hold job transfer ceremonies. I don't know how many powerful guys will emerge." Qin Shuang held her chin, thinking endlessly. Why are you thinking so much? No matter how powerful he is, it has nothing to do with you. Lin Shui smiled and reminded Qin Shuang. Of course it does matter. Qin Shuang jumped up from the sofa, her white and smooth feet fell on the carpet and paced back and forth, with a confident attitude. The most powerful people will pass the college entrance examination and enter our Dragon Kingdom Vocational University. At that time, they will be our juniors. As a senior, shouldn't you care about your juniors? Lin Shui rolled her eyes at her and said angrily, "What you must be thinking about is how many handsome guys there are in this group of juniors." He. Qin Shuang was struck in her mind, walked over, hugged Lin Shui's arm, and said with a smile, "She is indeed my best friend. She is as good as my resonance of heart and spirit. When the time comes, you have to go with me to see the newly reported juniors." Maybe there will be some very good-looking juniors. At the end of the sentence, Qin Shuang's eyes were filled with stars. Lin Shui knew that Qin Shuang was a nymphomaniac, but she was not cold about it. Just a perfunctory hum. Qin Shuang did not care about Lin Shui's perfunctory, but asked her, "By the way, Cher, is your brother also participating in the job transfer ceremony today?" "Well, Xiao Fei is also participating in the job transfer ceremony today." Lin Shui hummed, with a hint of worry in her eyes, but she still maintained her confidence and said, "Xiao Fei's grades have always been good. I hope he can awaken to a good career." But when she said this, she didn't feel confident at all. Career awakening is too random and no one can say it well. The probability of awakening a life-type profession is as high as 70%. It was hard for her not to worry about her brother. Qin Shuang saw Lin Shui's worries and understood her very well. "Because this kind of thing happened to me. She and her brother both attended the transfer ceremony last year. As a result, I awakened a hidden profession, but what my brother awakened was just a very ordinary life occupation. Although they are brother and sister, their awakened professions are very different," she said softly to Lin Shui. "No one can say for sure about awakening a profession. Furthermore, even if you awaken to a life-related career, you may not necessarily be inactive for the rest of your life." Lin Shui nodded in agreement, lowered his head and thought for a while, then continued. "Even if you awaken to a life-type profession, it's not a big deal. Using the job transfer scroll can give him a second chance to awaken his profession, and the awakened profession must be a main combat profession. If Xiao Fei awakens to a lifestyle profession, I can get him a job transfer scroll to turn him into a main combat profession." Of course, Qin Shuang also knew the heaven-defying functions of the job transfer scroll, but he frowned and said, "As precious as the job transfer scroll, it has always been priceless and will be robbed every time it appears. It is not easy to get." Lin Shui was not worried at all, with a calm face, and said casually, "Did you know that a new secret realm is about to open in Kangxi Ridge?" "No." Qin Shuang nodded. Then he reacted and raised his voice. "Sister, you are not planning this secret realm, are you?" Lin Shui had nothing to hide and admitted directly. "I heard from the teacher that as long as you clear this new secret realm, you can get the job transfer scroll." When Qin Shuang heard this, her tone became even higher. "But this is the level 40 secret realm. Moreover, only by passing the nightmare level or hell level difficulty can you obtain the job transfer scroll. Not to mention, many powerful guys in the school are eyeing this secret realm. It's too difficult for you to compete with them." Lin Shui was very tolerant and said softly, "I know it's difficult, but you have to try." "So, you have been practicing so crazily these past 2 months to prepare for this secret realm?" Qin Shuang finally understood why Lin Shui went out early and came back late every day these days, training like crazy. "Yes." Lin Shui shrugged. Standing up, preparing to go back to the room to rest. "I'm going back to rest first, and I will continue training tomorrow." Qin Shuang fell back on the sofa and said with envy, "Ah, I envy your brother so much that he has a sister who cares about him so much. Tell me, why don't I have such a good sister?" Lin Shui smiled and walked back to the room without answering. Summon the ghosts of the dead. Lin Fei uses skills. 20 mana cost. 2 undead ghosts suddenly appeared in front of them. No hesitation. Lin Fei moved smoothly and put the 2 undead ghosts into his backpack, together with the 1 undead ghost that was already in the backpack, and started to combine them. Miraculous talent, infinite synthesis. Lin Fei activated talent. The 3 ghosts merged into one in an instant, black iron level undead ghost. Life. 60. Strength. 60. Agility. 120. Mana. 60. Skill. None. Check the properties of the synthesized undead ghost. Lin Fei nodded with satisfaction. This 6-in-1 undead ghost is already as powerful as a level 5 monster. It's enough to keep him going in the novice copy. The only flaw is that this undead ghost has no awakening skills. Maybe it's because the level is still too low. Lin Fei didn't think deeply. "I stayed in the practice room all night. The time for the novice copy trial is coming soon. It's time to get ready to go." Lin Fei turned around, took 2 steps, opened the door to the practice room, and left. In the living room, Mom has already made breakfast. As soon as Lin Fei came in, a scent hit his nostrils. Dad was sitting at the dining table, reading the newspaper and drinking porridge. Mom brought out the last dish from the kitchen. My son is here. When my mother saw Lin Fei, a smile immediately appeared on her face, and she asked with some complaining concern. You stayed in the practice room all night, didn't you? Didn't I tell you to go to bed early? Don't tire yourself out. Lin Fei felt warm in his heart and said with a smile, there will be a novice copy trial soon. Time is tight, so come and take a rest. I promise it's just this once. Only then was my mother satisfied, and she quickly handed the bowl and chopsticks to Lin Fei. Breakfast is already ready, eat it while it's hot. Lin Fei sat down on the chair and slowly ate the nutritious breakfast made by his mother. When I was about to finish eating, the sound of the doorbell came from outside the house. Who is it? It's so early in the morning. Dad put down the newspaper, glanced in the direction of the door, and asked strangely. Son, keep eating, I'll go take a look. The mother signaled Lin Fei to continue eating, while she stood up, quickly left the living room, and walked towards the door of the villa. Bang! The door opens. Mom looked out the door. At first glance, I saw a middle-aged man in a suit standing at the door of his house, and behind him was a rugged off-road vehicle suspended on the roadside. After the fusion of games and reality, Blue Star's technology tree has also changed accordingly. Take cars for example. The fuel for all cars has changed from petroleum to energy crystal. And with the emergence of various new types of ores with attached properties, the functions of cars have also changed a lot. Extreme speed and levitation are very common. The more powerful ones also have attack and defense attributes. Of course, their prices are also very high, and only a very small number of people can afford to buy them. Saw this parked hover SUV. Mom immediately understood that the identity of the person in front of her was definitely not simple. But my mother didn't know this person, so she said carefully, hello, you are. Mom doesn't know Kinder, but Kinder had already met his mother. Last year, when Lin Shui was admitted to Longguo Vocational University with excellent results, Jinda came to visit. It's just that he was just the vice principal at the time, and he didn't stand out behind a group of people. It was normal for my mother not to remember. Introduce yourself, Jinda, the principal of Linjiang No. 2 Middle School, Jinda said in a gentle and polite tone. The principal of Linjiang No. 2 Middle School? Isn't that his son's principal? My mother came to her senses and said quickly, hello, principal, you came to our house because I made a special trip to pick up Lin Fei to participate in the novice dungeon trial. Jinda smiled and said matter-of-factly. The principal made a special trip to pick up his son? Mom's head buzzed for a moment. Is your son valued so much? When Xiaoshui awakened to her hidden profession last year, she didn't receive so much attention. My mother was stunned for a few seconds, then realized what she was doing and said quickly. He is having breakfast, I will call him out right away. Principal, please come in first, please come in. Mom hurriedly asked the principal to enter the villa. He ran all the way back to the living room and said to Lin Fei, who had just finished breakfast, son, Principal Jin is here to pick you up personally to participate in the novice copy trial, so hurry up and leave. Yeah, I understand. Lin Fei paused, then stood up and walked out of the living room. After seeing the principal, he politely said hello. Hello, principal. Yes. Principal Jin nodded and smiled at him. The novice copy trial will start soon. Let's go. Okay. Lin Fei nodded, then turned to his mother and said, I'm leaving. Go quickly. My mother smiled and waved her hand, not forgetting to say, be sure to pay attention to your own safety. I'll be careful. Lin Fei nodded and followed Principal Jin into his car. The father came over at this time, watched the car start and gradually moved away, and said with a sigh, the principal actually came to pick up his son in person. It seems that his son is taken seriously. That's right, my son's awakened profession is the only hidden profession. My mother replied proudly, and then added, Xiaoshui still doesn't know the profession that my son has awakened. At noon, I called her and told her the good news. The suspended off-road vehicle was driving towards Linjiang No. 2 Middle School at an extremely fast speed. In the car, Principal Jin and Lin Fei were sitting on the left and right in the back row. The principal was telling Lin Fei the precautions for the novice copy trial. The novice copy trial has 3 levels, namely easy level, ordinary level, and hard level. Everyone will first conduct a simple level copy to familiarize themselves with the situation in the copy. The monsters in the simple level dungeon are not very high level. Even the boss is only level 4. Just be careful when dealing with it and you can pass the level. As for safety issues, don't worry. We have comprehensive protection measures in this regard. If you encounter danger inside, you will be teleported out directly, and basically you won't get hurt. These are all old sayings. Lin Fei already knew it a long time ago, and he had no questions, so he kept nodding to show that he understood. By the way, do you plan to play alone or in a team? Principal Jin looked at Lin Fei and asked. Play alone. Without hesitation, Lin Fei answered directly. Principal Jin was not surprised by this answer. Usually students with strength will play alone. This way, you can get all the experience of killing monsters in the dungeon and upgrade faster. You are the only hidden profession. It is not difficult for you to solo the simple level dungeon. You can pass it with a little attention. Principal Jin talked freely based on past experience. However, if you want to challenge the ordinary level dungeon, you have to consider teaming up with others. Riverside City has not seen a new student who has cleared the ordinary level dungeon solo for many years. All of them can only pass it by teaming up. Last year, your sister Lin Shui also tried it, but still failed. So, when you challenge the ordinary level dungeon, you can consider teaming up with others. I think Liang Jia and Shu Wei are good. Lin Fei nodded in understanding and replied, I understand. I will consider it. Of course, you can also try it alone first. If you fail, it's not too late to team up with others. Principal Jin suggested, then listen to the principal. I will try it alone first. If I fail, I will find Shu Wei and others to team up. Lin Fei answered readily. In fact, he is still very confident that he can solo the ordinary level dungeon. Principal Jin nodded with satisfaction. Lin Fei asked again. Principal, what is the situation of the difficult level dungeon? This. Principal Jin touched his nose and continued. You can try it, but don't have too much hope. The difficult level dungeon is very difficult, even in a team it is difficult to pass. We haven't had a new student pass the difficult level dungeon in Riverside City for more than 10 years. Is it so difficult? Although he had been mentally prepared, Lin Fei was still a little surprised by the difficulty of the difficult level dungeon. In the past 10 years, Riverside City has also produced several hidden professionals. None of them passed the difficult level dungeon, even in a team. It seems that the difficulty of the difficult level dungeon is really high. However, Lin Fei wanted to challenge the difficult level dungeon more and more. I have unlimited synthesis talent. Now the synthesized undead ghosts can easily pass the simple level dungeon. There is also hope to brush the ordinary level dungeon alone. And as his level increases, he can summon more and stronger undead ghosts. Let them continue to synthesize, and the 4-dimensional attributes will continue to stack. Challenging the difficult level dungeon is not impossible. Principal Jin looked at Lin Fei, who was eager to challenge the difficult dungeon. He knew that this guy wanted to challenge the difficult dungeon. It was not surprising at all. It was a good thing for young people to be motivated. He just didn't have much hope for Lin Fei to pass the difficult dungeon. Riverside City hadn't produced a new student who could pass the difficult dungeon for more than 10 years, which was very telling. The difficult dungeon was simply not something that normal people could challenge. Let alone anything else. The boss inside was at level 10. Last year, Lin Shui completed the novice trial, and her level was only raised to level 8. It can be seen that even if a hidden profession is awakened, it is almost impossible to pass the difficult dungeon. However, Principal Jin did not speak to criticize Lin Fei. It was a good thing for young people to want to try it, and there would be no danger anyway. He changed the subject and talked about the job transfer situation of more than a dozen other high schools in Riverside City. The situation of transfers among high schools in Riverside City this year is similar to last year. 70% of students have awakened to life occupations, 20% have awakened to auxiliary occupations, and the remaining 10% have awakened to main combat occupations. Among them, including Liang Jia, there are 4 people who have awakened rare professions. Principal Jin talked about the transfer situation of various high schools in Riverside City this year, and Lin Fei pricked up his ears and listened carefully. You just need to understand this. Don't pay too much attention to it. These people do not pose a threat to you. Principal Jin talked eloquently and waved his hand to indicate that Lin Fei should not pay too much attention to these people mentioned above. He changed the topic again and said in a serious voice, however, there is one person you need to pay attention to. His name is Lu Hua. He is a student of Linjiang No. 1 Middle School and has also awakened his hidden profession. Lin Fei's expression became serious. Being able to awaken a hidden profession must not be simple. He asked, what profession did he awaken? Listening to this, Principal Jin's serious face suddenly became a little narrow, and he curled up his lips and said, hidden profession, skeleton lord. You said it was a coincidence, hee. Lin Fei also laughed when he heard this. As the principal said, what a coincidence. His profession is Undead Lord, while Lu Hua's profession is Skeleton Lord. The two professions are very close. Professionally speaking, your profession is one step ahead of Lu Hua. Principal Jin smiled proudly. After all, your Undead Lord can summon many types of soldiers, while his Skeleton Lord can only summon a single type of soldier. However, don't be careless. Principal Jin became serious and warned. There is no strongest profession, only the strongest professional. The key to being strong or not lies in the professional himself. Yes, I know. Lin Fei nodded calmly. Naturally he had already understood this truth. Relax, this is just a novice dungeon trial, you won't go up against each other directly. Principal Jin reassured Lin Fei. It is of course the best if you can beat Lu Hua in the trial. If you can't do it, it doesn't matter, let's wait and see after the college entrance examination. As the two best high schools in Riverside City, Linjiang No. 1 Middle School and Linjiang No. 2 Middle School are naturally competitors. In the past, Linjiang No. 1 Middle School had always had the upper hand and firmly occupied the No. 1 position. It wasn't until Lin Shui's appearance last year that Linjiang No. 2 Middle School was able to dominate the first middle school. Principal Jin naturally hopes that Lin Fei can do his best this year and compete with Linjiang No. 1 Middle School. However, Linjiang No. 1 Middle School also produced a hidden professional this year, and it is not easy to compare with them. Lin Fei didn't care about the competition between the two schools. On the contrary, he is bound to win the first place in the Riverside City College entrance examination. Because you get first place, you can get rich rewards from Riverside City. If you can get admitted to Longguo Vocational University, you will get another additional reward. Lin Fei was still very tempted by this. After all, if professionals want to grow, resources are not available. He comes from an ordinary family, and if he wants to obtain resources, he can only rely on his own strength to obtain them. Principal Jin was very satisfied when he saw that Lin Fei was calm and not timid. He continued to introduce Lu Hua's situation to him. Lu Hua's parents are both main combat professionals, and their levels are not low. His parents will definitely spare no effort to help him and improve his strength so that he can achieve good results in the novice copy trial. Lin Fei nodded. This is the advantage of a good family background. You can obtain more resources and improve your strength faster. He couldn't envy this. However, he is confident that even without this advantage, he will not be worse than others. Don't forget, you have the divine weapon, the most powerful career system. The novice gift pack contains the miraculous talent. When the rank 1 segment of the system is officially launched, we still don't know what incredible functions it will have. Lin Fei was thinking in his mind and heard the principal continue to say in his ear. Lu Hua has the unwavering support of his family, but don't be discouraged. Our school will also do its best to help you. While talking, Principal Jin took out 2 potions from the backpack space, placed them in Lin Fei's hands, and said, this is a mana recovery potion that can help you restore your mana. Lin Fei stared at the 2 blue medicine bottles in his hands, a look of joy on his face. If you can quickly restore mana, you can summon more undead ghosts by yourself. After synthesis, the strength of the undead ghost will become more powerful, and it will become easier to clear the novice copy. You are only at level 1 now, so you can only use level 1 potions. Level 1 Mana Recovery Potion can help you restore 20 mana points. 2 bottles is 40 points. After Principal Jin introduced the efficacy of the Mana Restoration Potion, he was afraid that Lin Fei would misunderstand it, so he continued to explain. It's not that there are no more potions for you. It's because your level is too low now, and using too many potions will affect you in the future. I estimate that this is what Lu Hua got. Lin Fei nodded and said with some gratitude, "Thank you, Principal. 2 bottles of potion can restore 40 points of mana. In other words, 4 more undead ghosts can be summoned. After synthesis, the new undead ghost will have 100 points of power, which is comparable to level 7 monsters. It is not easy to clear the novice copy." "You're welcome, this is what I should do." Principal Jin waved his hand with a smile, and then asked, "Don't think too much now, put all your energy into the novice copy trial. In this trial, you must at least upgrade your level to level 6. Only in the next 6 days can you be sure to upgrade your level to level 12 and attack Longguo Vocational University." Lin Fei nodded when he heard this, but he has higher requirements for himself than the principal said. For this novice copy trial, you must upgrade your level to at least level 8. Before the college entrance examination, raise the level to level 15 and open the rank 1 segment of the system. Principal Jin didn't know Lin Fei's inner thoughts. If you knew it, you would definitely be shocked. If you raise your level to level 15 before the college entrance examination, then entering Longguo Vocational University is a sure thing. All he expected from Lin Fei was to be promoted to level 12 before the college entrance examination. After all, the higher the level, the harder it is to improve. When he took the college entrance examination, he didn't even reach level 12, just level 11. As for Lin Shui, she raised her level to level 16 before the college entrance examination. That's because she had a special opportunity after leaving the city for the trial. Otherwise, even if she awakens a hidden profession, she can only upgrade her level to level 13 at most. Opportunities are rare. Principal Jin has no expectations. Therefore, if Lin Fei could raise his level to level 12 before the college entrance examination, he would be very satisfied. The suspended off-road vehicle races all the way through Riverside City. While Lin Fei and Principal Jin were talking, they arrived at the job transfer square of Linjiang No. 2 Middle School. The job transfer square was bustling with people. The freshmen who have just completed their job transfer are extremely curious and looking forward to the novice dungeon trial, and they are chattering non-stop. But, after the hovering off-road vehicle arrived, everyone instantly became quiet and turned their attention to it. The car door opens. Principal Jin was the first to get off the off-road vehicle. Then Lin Fei walked out immediately. There was an uproar in the stands at the job transfer square. "Sister, am I right?" Brother Fei got off the principal's car. Shu Wei rubbed his eyes, looked at the center of the square in disbelief, and said to Liang Jia beside him. Liang Jia was too lazy to pay attention to him. He could only continue to talk to himself. "No wonder I haven't seen Brother Fei." It turns out that the principal went to pick up Brother Fei personally. "It's so impressive." Shu Wei looked at Lin Fei with envy. "I thought how great it would be if I could also receive such attention from the principal." Others in the stands had similar thoughts to Shu Wei. The only hidden profession in awakening is good. Even the principal went to pick him up and drop him off in person. Under the gaze of everyone, Lin Fei walked up to the stand expressionlessly and sat down in his seat. "Brother Fei, we are about to teleport to the dungeon square. How are you preparing?" Shu Wei was the first to come up and whispered. "It's okay." Lin Fei nodded lightly without explaining too much. "The first thing we have to challenge is the simple level dungeon. Brother Fei must be doing it alone." Shu Wei continued to ask. "Yeah." Lin Fei nodded and admitted, "I plan to clear the simple level dungeon alone." "Hee, me too." Shu Wei chuckled twice and said happily, "I have finally awakened the main combat profession. No matter what, I have to try out the simple level dungeon alone, otherwise I won't give in." People who have awakened hidden professions and rare professions will basically be able to clear simple level dungeons alone. In addition, a few people who have awakened to the main combat profession also choose to clear simple level dungeons alone, and Shu Wei is one of them. However, the success rate of single-level simple dungeons for main combat professions is lower. "Well, come on, Be careful when you're playing alone. Lin Fei was not surprised and encouraged Fatty Shu. Fatty Shu smiled and said nothing. He still knows how many pounds he has. Just brushing through the simple level dungeon is just a try. If that didn't work, he would team up with others to conquer the simple dungeon. The simple level dungeon is not difficult, and basically everyone can pass it if they form a team. The focus is on the next ordinary level copy. The difficulty of the ordinary level dungeon is more than a little bit higher than that of the simple level dungeon. Even if you awaken the hidden profession, it is difficult to clear the level alone. So Fatty Shu proposed to Lin Fei, "Brother Fei, I will team up with Sister Tu to conquer the ordinary level dungeon. Do you want to join us?" Lin Fei heard this and looked at Liang Jia standing aside. She did not refute Shu Hui's words. It was obvious that she had already discussed it with Shu Wei, and it was not Fatty Shu's own fault. Lin Fei thought for a while and replied, "I plan to try it alone first. If it fails, I will team up with you again." "That's natural." Fatty Shu was not surprised by this answer at all, and continued, "The eldest sister has the same plan as Fei Zhe. If the ordinary level copy fails alone, we will form a team to conquer it." As he said that, Shu Wei smiled self-deprecatingly. "As for myself, I won't be embarrassed. It's thanks to you, Brother Fei, that I can awaken the main combat profession. Just clearing the simple level dungeon is already very bold. Clearing the ordinary level dungeon alone is beyond my imagination. I'd better wait to form a team to conquer the ordinary level dungeon together." Lin Fei patted Fatty Shu on the shoulder and encouraged him. "It's hard to say. If you can clear the simple level dungeon alone, you can also try to clear the ordinary level dungeon alone." Shu Wei chuckled twice but did not answer. Liang Jia on the side suddenly turned around and said to Lin Fei, "We can form a team together to conquer the difficult level dungeon." She did not have a bill of lading to clear the difficult level dungeon, so she obviously did not consider this option. Lin Fei wanted to try to clear the difficult level dungeon alone, but he didn't have the confidence in his heart, so he nodded and agreed. "Okay. Then it's settled." Shu Wei also agreed with a very excited expression. No one has cleared the difficult level dungeon for several years. Even in a team, no one has ever succeeded. I form a team with Brother Fei and Sister Tu. They're the most powerful team in the second middle school. Maybe there is some hope of passing the level. While several people were talking, Principal Jin walked up to the podium, stretched out his hand and pressed it in the air to signal everyone to be quiet, and then said, "I will start the collective teleportation next and take everyone to the dungeon square to participate in the novice dungeon trial. Before participating in the trial, I emphasize this again. Life type and auxiliary occupations must form a team to enter the novice copy. As for the main battle profession, you can try to enter the novice copy alone. But if you fail, you have to form a team." Everyone has known about this for a long time. There were even 3 or 5 people who had already agreed to form a team together. So no one had any objection. After Principal Jin emphasized, he started the collective transmission. Countless straight blue rays of light fall from the sky, falling on everyone's appearance. The space fluctuated for a second, and the space around everyone was distorted, and they were collectively teleported to the dungeon square. "Brother Fei, those 2 whirlpools should be the entrance to the copy. The people queuing up in front of the entrance should be people from number 1 middle school." Fatty Shu pointed at the whirlpool and crowd in the distance and whispered in Lin Fei's ear. Lin Fei nodded. This novice copy is shared by number 1 middle school and number 2 middle school. The students from number 2 middle school are all here, so the students in front are naturally the students from number 1 middle school. But, Fatty Shu frowned and said in confusion, "Why did they occupy both entrances to the dungeon?" "There are 2 entrances to the novice copy. According to the usual practice, number 1 middle school and number 2 middle school are in one family and do not disturb each other. Now the students from number 1 middle school have occupied all the entrances to the dungeon, so how do they enter the dungeon?" Lin Fei also noticed this, thought for a moment and said, "Maybe he wants to give us a kick. Last year, number 1 middle school was outperformed by us. They must not be convinced. So I just want to use this bad trick to overwhelm us." A bad move is indeed a bad move, but it really disgusted everyone in number 2 middle school. Anger appeared on everyone's faces, and Shu Wei even said directly, "Damn, These people are so unruly. Both entrances are occupied. We won't have to wait until the year of the monkey when it's our turn. We can't tolerate it. We must teach them a lesson and let them know how to behave. Rolling up his sleeves, he rushed over to argue with the people in number 1 middle school. But Lin Fei reached out and stopped him. We don't need to worry about this kind of thing. The principal will solve it. We just have to wait patiently. Lin Fei is very prestigious among everyone. Now that he had spoken, everyone had to suppress their anger and wait for the principal to negotiate with those people. The students all noticed that the entrance to the copy was occupied. Principal Jin naturally discovered it too, when I was about to go over and ask what was going on. A fat middle-aged man with a big belly and a greasy face walked over quickly. Principal Jin, you are finally here. I have been waiting for you for a long time. The fat middle-aged man had a smile on his face, but his eyes clearly shone with cunning. Obviously you guys were here early, right? Principal Jin complained in his heart. But don't reach out and hit the smiling person. Principal Jin didn't want to blame the other party, so he said with a smile. Haha, you are so active in number 1 middle school. It is really worth learning from us. As he said that, he pointed to the entrance to the dungeon and asked, what's going on at the entrance to the dungeon over there? How come the students from number 1 middle school also occupied the entrance to our number 2 middle school? The middle-aged fat man had already prepared the manuscript and said with a smile, that's right. I saw that you guys haven't come yet and the students have been waiting in line to enter the dungeon for too long, so I took it upon myself to let them use the dungeon entrance of number 2 middle school. Please don't mind Principal Jin. What he said was true. The students entered the dungeon in batches and groups. After the previous group enters, the next group can enter. Plus some dawdling and trivial time. The queue time will naturally be short. Jinda knew that this guy clearly did this on purpose. I just want to make myself sick, but what he said was high-sounding. It's not easy for me to break up with him. Moreover, there has never been a rule that this dungeon entrance belongs to number 2 middle school and students from number 1 middle school cannot use it. People are on a first-come, first-served basis, so who will let you come late? Jinda said with gritted teeth. I don't mind. Let the students of number 1 middle school use it first, we are not in a hurry. He said this, but in his heart he was itching with hatred. We'll see. Sooner or later I want you to look good. The middle-aged fat man smiled triumphantly and said with pride and humility. Isn't that good? How about I ask them to clear the entrance? Jin Dina couldn't tell that the fat man was being polite. He turned around without smiling at all, ignored the fat man, and said to Lin Fei and others. Everyone, please wait for a while. When all the students from number 1 middle school enter the dungeon, we will start the trial again. The students of number 2 middle school were already very angry. Hearing this, he became even more angry. It's obvious that Yizhong deliberately disgusted us. Now let's take a step back. What's the point? I noticed that the number 1 middle school students at the entrance to the dungeon were peeking at me, and many of them were still snickering. The students in number 2 middle school were even more furious. Just as he was about to rush forward to question him regardless of his own safety, Lin Fei stretched out his arm to stop him. Everyone, please be patient. Lin Fei turned around and said to everyone in a deep voice, just do as the principal said. What if we let them come in a little early? You will know who is strong and who is weak by fighting. If you are not angry, you might as well perform well during the trial and let them know how powerful our number 2 middle school is. After that, he was the first to sit down and use the meditation recovery method to restore his mana. Everyone else was also convinced by Lin Fei. He is no longer impulsive, but is holding back his energy to perform well in the novice trial and regain his position. He has to hit every target. Some of them meditated like Lin Fei to recover mana, some took out their equipment and practiced their killing moves, and some discussed tactical coordination with their teammates. The students of number 2 middle school immediately became busy. Shu Wei couldn't help but secretly give Lin Fei a thumbs up, admiring him with admiration. Principal Jin was also smiling. The more he looked at Lin Fei, the more adorable he felt, and his determination to spare no effort to support Lin Fei became stronger. Only the principal of number 1 middle school, the middle-aged fat man, stood there awkwardly with a stiff face. I wanted to use this method to disgust Zong and suppress them. Failure to do so inspired their fighting spirit. It's really like shooting yourself in the foot. The middle-aged fat man couldn't help but regret using this bad idea and was disgusted. Principal Jin saw the middle-aged fat man's face getting more and more ugly. He suppressed a hearty laugh and said with some pride, "Principal Wang, there is no need to leave the entrance free for us. You students from number 1 middle school can go first. We from number 2 middle school can't." In a hurry, the fat middle-aged man pretended to wipe his greasy forehead to hide the embarrassment on his face. He snorted softly in his heart. It doesn't matter if you have high morale, it's nothing in the face of absolute strength. When the test results come out later, you will know how powerful I am. He then turned his attention to Lin Fei, who was sitting cross-legged in meditation, looked up and down, and changed the subject. If I guess correctly, he is the student in your number 2 middle school who has awakened the only hidden profession, right? Principal Jin nodded and admitted generously. Quite diligent. The middle-aged fat man smiled and pretended to praise. There was so much noise when I changed jobs yesterday that the entire Riverside city was shocked. Principal Jin smiled proudly and said modestly, "It's nothing. Your number 1 middle school also had a vision, and a hidden professional was born." After saying that, he continued meaningfully. "I heard that his profession is Skeleton Lord, which is somewhat similar to Lin Fei's Undead Lord. What a coincidence." The middle-aged fat man's fat face twitched, as if he had been poked in a painful spot. He secretly scolded Jinde for not opening the pot and picking up the pot. The Skeleton Lord is obviously a level lower than the Undead Lord. Isn't this a deliberate attempt to squeeze oneself out? But he still forced a smile and said, "Yes, what a coincidence. Lu Zi has summoned more than a dozen skeleton warriors to fight for him since his transfer. He went in an hour ago." "I don't know. Lin Fei from your 2nd middle school has summoned the ultimate undead now?" He was testing Lin Fei's strength. "I don't know about this. It shouldn't be worse than Lu Zi," Principal Jin said with some embarrassment. This is not a lie. He really didn't ask how many undead ghosts Lin Fei summoned. The middle-aged fat man knew this, and secretly cursed Jin Dalu for being so strict, yet he was unwilling to reveal any information. "I still have great confidence in Lu Zi. After all, Lu Zi used 4 bottles of mana recovery potion to summon a dozen skeleton warriors. That Lin Fei can't be stronger than Lu Zi." Thinking of this, the middle-aged fat man felt relieved and said to Principal Jin with some pride, "Lu Zi cleared the dungeon by himself. His goal is to clear the simple level dungeon within 10 hours. This goal is already high. It takes at least 12 hours to complete the normal team strategy and simple level dungeon. If you brush alone, it will take longer. Last year, it took Lin Shui 12 hours to clear the simple level dungeon alone, which was considered very fast. And Lu Zi's goal is actually 10 hours. It seems that this guy is trying hard to surpass Lin Shui, and Yi Shui will be ashamed of last year." Principal Jin raised his eyebrows, glanced at Lin Fei, and said not to be outdone. "What a coincidence. Lin Fei's goal is to clear the level in 9 hours, which is 1 hour less than Lu Zi. Just blow it. 9 hours to clear the level? What nonsense are you talking to me about?" The fat middle-aged man twitched his lips, not believing what Principal Jin said at all. No one in the history of Riverside City has been able to clear the easy level dungeon in 10 hours. Therefore, he had no hope that Lu Zi would challenge him to clear the level in 10 hours, let alone Lin Fei's challenge of 9 hours, which was absolutely impossible. After Principal Jin finished speaking, he felt that he had gone too far. The original intention was just not to lose to Principal Wang, so he boasted that Lin Fei's goal was to clear the level in 9 hours. But say it, he himself thought it was impossible. Under the strange gaze of the middle-aged fat man, Principal Jin coughed awkwardly, cleared his throat and said, "Well, the goal is one thing, whether it can be achieved is another. We'll have to wait and see how they perform." The middle-aged fat man didn't want to dwell on this topic, so he followed Principal Jin's words and said, "Yeah, let's wait and see." Most of the students in number 1 middle school have already entered the copy. After Lin Fei and others waited for nearly an hour, the rest also entered the dungeon. Now there are only students from number 2 middle school left in the dungeon square. It's finally our turn. No need for Kinder to say more. The students of number 2 middle school waited for a long hour, holding back their anger, and all geared up to head towards the entrance of the instance. Lin Fei was the first to arrive at the dungeon entrance. Choose a simple copy. The space rippled for a while, and then the whole person disappeared into the copy square. Open your eyes again. Lin Fei has entered the novice copy. This is a dense forest. The densely packed towering trees stretched out their dense branches to block the sky, and only a few rays of sunlight shone through the gaps in the forest. There are also staggered layers of grass that block the view, making the forest more mysterious. Ghost of the Dead. Lin Fei immediately released the ghost of the undead from the backpack space to protect himself. Views in the forest are limited. There might be some monsters hiding in the grass to attack you, so be careful. At the same time, he continued to look around carefully. The novice copy is for those who have just changed jobs to practice. Therefore, the level of the monsters inside will not be very high. But the number is still quite a lot. In the blink of an eye, Lin Fei discovered several level 0 monsters. Level 0 monsters have little attack power and are specially prepared for life-type professionals. Otherwise, these life-type professionals with no combat power should not be allowed to gain nothing after entering the novice copy. For main combat professionals, it is useless, because you can only get very little experience after killing. So Lin Fei simply ignored it and was too lazy to waste time. After observing for a while, he took out the mana recovery potion given by Principal Jin. Use one bottle without hesitation and your mana will be instantly restored to 20 points. Summon the ghosts of the dead. Lin Fei summoned 2 undead ghosts. Then do the same thing. The remaining bottle of mana recovery potion will be used to summon 2 undead ghosts again. Divine level talent, unlimited synthesis. Lin Fei put the 5 undead ghosts into the backpack space and used infinite synthesis talent to synthesize them. After being released from the backpack space again, Lin Fei explored the 4-dimensional attributes of this new undead ghost. Black Iron level undead ghost, life, 80, strength, 90. Agility, 180, mana, 70, skill, none. The 4-dimensional attributes have increased less. After Lin Fei saw the 4-dimensional attributes of the new undead ghost, he keenly discovered that the 4-dimensional attributes of the synthesized new undead ghost had increased less. I have summoned a total of 10 undead ghosts so far. An undead ghost has power 10. If 10 are stacked, it should be 100. But the power of this new undead ghost is only 90. This shows that as the number of synthesized undead ghosts increases, the increase in 4-dimensional attributes decreases. Unless I can summon more powerful undead ghosts to synthesize, the 4-dimensional attributes can be increased even more. Lin Fei muttered softly. But if you want to summon more powerful undead ghosts, you need to upgrade your level first. So, the right thing to do is seize the time to upgrade. Lin Fei stopped thinking about this and focused on killing monsters and upgrading. Open the way ahead, let's go find monsters to kill. Lin Fei had a thought. The ghost of the undead immediately floated ahead to clear the way for Lin Fei. It was as expected by Lin Fei. There is indeed a monster hiding in the grass. After the undead ghost entered the grass ahead, it slapped it down, leaving a clear palm print and a monster's corpse on the ground. Kill level 1 gray cat, experience plus 10. The gray-haired cat at level 1 was slapped to death by the undead ghost. Lin Fei also gained 10 experience points. Look towards the properties panel. I saw that the number in the experience column above increased by 1%. Killing a level 1 monster increases experience by 1%. Then as long as you kill 100 level 1 monsters, you can upgrade to level 2. Continue. Lin Fei continued to walk forward while calculating. The undead ghosts kept killing monsters in front, clearing the way for Lin Fei. To protect your own safety, Lin Fei did not let the ghosts of the dead get too far away from him. He continued to move forward leisurely, while the undead ghosts continued to kill monsters within a 200-meter radius of him at extremely fast speeds. Kill level 1 gray cat, experience plus 10. Kill level 1 big-eared rabbit, experience plus 10. Lin Fei constantly received reminders to increase his experience. Less than 20 minutes. Lin Fei's experience has increased by 50%. It is estimated that it will be upgraded in another 20 minutes. This efficiency is really impressive. Lin Fei continued to move forward with a smile on his face. The agile figure of the undead ghost flashed within a radius of 200 meters. The collateral encountered is constantly being harvested. A radius of 200 meters turned into a white field. 20 minutes later, the undead ghost killed the 100th monster, and Lin Fei also received his first upgrade. Name: Lin Fei. Occupation: Undead Lord, only. Level: 2, 0.00%. Life: 20. Strength: 20. Agility: 15. Mana: 30. Equipment: none. Backpack space: 0.15. Army: Undead Ghost. As the level increases, more arms can be unlocked. Skill: Bone Spur. Summon Undead Ghost. Bone Spur consumes 5 mana points to summon bone spurs from the ground to attack the enemy, causing physical damage to the target. Summon the Undead Ghost. Spend 10 mana points to summon an Undead Ghost. Talent: Infinite Synthesis. Synthesize any number and type of items and summons to obtain items with corresponding random abilities and corresponding random levels. The level increases, the 4-dimensional attributes increase, and the backpack space increases from 10 to 15. But what caught Lin Fei's attention the most was the increase in his mana to 30. Summon the Ghosts of the Dead. Divine Level Talent, Unlimited Synthesis. Lin Fei once again synthesized 3 newly summoned undead ghosts. The combined properties of the undead ghost become: Black Iron Level Undead Ghost. Life: 90. Strength: 110. Agility: 200. Mana: 80. Skill: none. The strength reaches 110, which is comparable to level 7 monsters. Continue. Lin Fei was energetic and continued to move deeper into the forest. The undead ghost is still protecting him while killing nearby monsters. But the range has been increased to 500 meters in radius. Kill level 2 Gray Cat, experience plus 20. Finally entered the level 2 area. Lin Fei exhaled excitedly when he saw the prompt of increased experience. Level 2 areas are filled with level 2 monsters. After killing, you can gain more experience and level up faster. For undead ghosts, there is no difference between level 1 monsters, level 2 monsters, and level 3 monsters. They are all just a slap in the face. Then the higher the level of the monsters you encounter, the better. Kill level 2 Blue-Eyed Rat, experience plus 20. Kill level 2 Big-Eared Rabbit, experience plus 20. The power of the undead ghost reaches 110, which is comparable to level 7 monsters. So it was an instant kill all the way, without any suspense. These are only level 2 monsters. They don't even have a chance to escape. If they are discovered by the undead ghosts, they will be instantly killed. Lin Fei made great progress all the way. The undead ghost continuously searches for and kills level 2 monsters within a radius of 500 meters. The level 2 area is really big. It took us 2 hours to walk to the edge. Lin Fei stood on the edge of the level 2 area and exhaled. Looking at the undead ghost not far away who was hunting a level 3 monster, he said with some regret. It's a pity that although the level 2 area is very large, the number of monsters is much smaller. Although you gain more experience by killing level 2 monsters than level 1 monsters. But the number is small, and the speed of increasing experience is also limited. Killing all the monsters in the level 2 area only allows me to level up again. Lin Fei looked at the experience bar in the attribute panel. 99% of the progress was about to be upgraded again. Kill the level 3 Blue-Eyed Rat King, experience plus 30. A prompt for increased experience appears. The undead ghost has killed the level 3 monster. Lin Fei's experience points finally reached 100%, ushering in the second upgrade. Name: Lin Fei. Occupation: Undead Lord, only. Level: 3, 0.00%. Life: 25. Strength: 30. Agility: 20. Mana: 40. Equipment: none. Backpack space: 0.20. Army: Undead Ghost. As the level increases, more arms can be unlocked. Skill: Bone Spur. Summon Undead Ghost. Bone Spur Consumes 10 mana points to summon bone spurs from the ground to attack the enemy, causing physical damage to the target. Summon the undead ghost. Spend 10 mana points to summon an undead ghost. Talent: Infinite Synthesis. Synthesize any number and type of items and summons to obtain items with corresponding random abilities and corresponding random levels. This upgrade is pretty much the same as the last one. After leveling up, the 4-dimensional attributes have increased, and the backpack space has also expanded to 20. But no new arms and skills were awakened. Summon the ghosts of the dead. Divine level talent: Unlimited Synthesis. Lin Fei once again synthesized 3 newly summoned undead ghosts. After synthesis, the 4-dimensional attributes of the undead ghost increase again. Black Iron level undead ghost. Life: 105, Strength: 125. Agility: 220, Mana: 95, Skill: none. Lin Fei nodded with satisfaction after seeing the properties of the undead ghost increased. Summoning 3 undead ghosts cost 30 mana points. He has 10 mana left. It is no longer used to summon the ghosts of the dead. Instead, he saved it to try out another skill of his, Bone Spurs. The power of the undead ghost has reached 125, which is comparable to level 7 monsters and is enough to crush all the monsters in this dungeon, so there is no rush to continue improving. I haven't tried the Bone Spur skill yet. Save some mana and try it later when you get a chance. Lin Fei thought as he stepped into the level 3 area. The number of monsters in the level 2 area is less than half that of the level 1 area. I estimate that the number of monsters in the level 3 area will be smaller. Lin Fei looked into the extremely quiet depths of the jungle and did not notice the movement of the monster. The undead ghosts continue to explore within a 1,000-meter range around him. But so far, the second level 3 monster has not been found. The number of monsters has decreased, which is normal. After all, resources are limited, and the higher the level of the monster, the more resources are needed. There are level 3 monsters in the level 3 area, and the number is smaller than in the level 1 and level 2 areas, which is very reasonable. Lin Fei had already thought about the reason why the number of monsters decreased as he went deeper, and murmured, I just don't know if the monsters in the entire level 3 area can allow me to upgrade from level 3 to level 4. Lin Fei is not sure about this either, but it's useless to think so much. Just do it. Since the number is small, I will speed up and find all the monsters in the level 3 area. Lin Fei quickened his pace and headed towards the depths of the level 3 area. If other people knew Lin Fei's plan, their jaws would probably drop in shock. For them, each level 3 monster is difficult to deal with. When encountering 2 level 3 monsters, the longer the interval between them, the better, so that you have enough time to rest and recover. Someone like Lin Fei who takes the initiative to look for level 3 monsters is simply an anomaly. No way. Who made the synthesized undead ghost too powerful? Level 3 and level 4 are all the same. If you encounter them, they will be instantly killed. Therefore, Lin Fei's biggest problem now is not to kill monsters, but to find them. He spent most of his time after entering the dungeon looking for monsters, but it didn't take him long to kill them. Lin Fei moved forward quickly in the level 3 area. If he entered an uninhabited land, he would not worry about level 3 monsters suddenly rushing out to attack him. The undead ghosts wander back and forth within a 1,000-meter radius of him, and when they find level 3 monsters, they instantly kill them. Kill level 3 brown bear, experience plus 30. Kill level 3 green wolf, experience plus 30. Kill level 3 black panther, experience plus 30. Every once in a while, prompts for increasing experience will appear. Although there are fewer monsters in the level 3 area, the experience gained by killing level 3 monsters is 3 times that of killing level 1 monsters. Therefore, generally speaking, Lin Fei's experience improvement rate is not slow. Arriving at an area deep in the level 3 area, Lin Fei rarely stopped. There were several level 3 monsters in this area, and Lin Fei let the undead ghosts slowly hunt them down. It's probably been more than 4 hours since I entered the dungeon. Lin Fei estimated the time when he entered the dungeon, and then he was stunned. It's not that I don't know, it's just that I was shocked. It actually only took me 4 hours to enter the depths of the level 3 area. At this rate, it would only take 5 or 6 hours at most to clear the simple level dungeon. Even Lin Fei had not expected such a fast clearance speed. The main reason is that the undead ghosts are too strong. Instantly killing any monster in the simple level dungeon is as easy as eating and drinking. Therefore, Lin Fei kept advancing all the way without stopping, and he reached the depths of the level 3 area in just 4 hours. But others don't have such powerful combat power as the undead ghost. Facing every monster in the dungeon, you must be prepared, and it will take a lot of time and effort to defeat it. It has now been 4 hours since entering the dungeon. Most of them have just entered the level 2 area, and those who are slower have not even left the level 1 area. After thinking about this, Lin Fei felt relieved and his expression became calm again. My original plan was to clear the simple level dungeon in 11 hours just like my sister. I didn't expect the ghosts of the dead to be so powerful. It takes 4 hours to reach the depths of the level 3 area. At this rate, I can clear the simple level dungeon in 6 hours at most. Lin Fei rubbed his chin with a smile on his face, obviously in a good mood. The clearance speed was twice as fast as he expected, and he was naturally overjoyed. Kill level 3 Green Wolf, experience plus 30. Kill level 3 Black Panther, experience plus 30. Kill level 3 Brown Bear, experience plus 30. While Lin Fei was thinking, the undead ghost had already killed 3 level 3 monsters instantly. The monsters in this area have been completely killed by the undead ghosts. Lin Fei continued to move forward, exploring deeper into the level 3 area, looking for and killing more level 3 monsters. It's a pity that after killing the monsters in the novice copy, you can only gain experience and no items will be dropped. Otherwise, I will definitely gain a lot along the way. Lin Fei couldn't help feeling a little emotional as he watched the undead ghost kill a level 3 monster not far away. The novice copy is specially designed for new professionals like them who have just changed jobs to adapt to actual combat. Therefore, it has been specially modified to be different from ordinary copies. In the novice dungeon, all monsters have been weakened as a whole, and their combat power and ferocity are far less than those of ordinary dungeons, which is suitable for new professionals like them. Because of this, no items will be dropped by killing monsters in the novice copy. In the entire novice copy, only the final boss has not been weakened. In other words, Lin Fei only has a chance to get the dropped items when he kills the final boss. The undead ghosts were unstoppable and crushed them all the way. Not a single monster escaped wherever they passed, and they were all killed instantly. Lin Fei also headed deep into the level 3 area at an extremely fast speed. More than an hour passed. The landscape before our eyes gradually changed. The dense woods gradually thinned out. In its place is a vast expanse of prairie. It seems that I have passed the level 3 area, and if I continue to move forward, I will enter the level 4 area. Lin Fei looked at the endless grassland and muttered to himself. There are fewer monsters in the level 4 area than in the level 3 area. There is only one, which is the final level 4 boss. As long as you kill this boss, the simple level copy will be considered as cleared. Lin Fei was in a good mood. Before entering the 4th level area, he opened the properties panel again and took a look at his experience bar. The upgrade progress has reached 91%. Unfortunately, as the level increases, more and more experience is required. Even if I kill all the monsters in the level 3 area, I will not be promoted to level 4. Lin Fei closed the properties panel and sighed. Even so, he was satisfied. My own upgrade speed should be the fastest among all the people. Most people have now upgraded to level 2 and are still exploring the level 2 area. It only took me more than 5 hours to reach the level 4 area, and my upgrade experience reached 91%. It is estimated that if I kill the boss, I will be promoted to level 4. What else is there to be dissatisfied about? According to what Lin Fei learned before, most people enter the novice copy for the first time, and after passing the level, they will be promoted to level 2. Only a few can be promoted to level 3. They only refreshed the novice dungeon for the second and third time before raising their level. You can hope to be promoted to level 4 just by brushing it, which is already very fast. Think this through. Lin Fei stepped into the endless grassland with relaxed steps. The undead ghosts are clearing the way ahead, looking for the final level 4 boss of the instance. However, after searching for nearly an hour, Lin Fei found no trace of the boss. It's really weird. I've bin searching for more than an hour, and I haven't even seen a hair. Where is this boss? It's not like he saw the ghost of the dead and was so scared that he hid. Lin Fei walked boredly on the prairie. I hope the boss will show up soon. Let the undead ghost kill you instantly, so you can quickly try the ordinary level copy. The simple level copy is really worthy of its name, it is really too simple. It's not challenging at all. We can't waste it like this, it's a waste of time. If only others could hear Lin Fei's thoughts. I'm afraid I'll be so angry that I vomit blood. Each one of them is still struggling in the level 2 area, constantly dealing with powerful level 2 monsters, wishing that the difficulty of the simple level copy could be reduced to the lowest level. But this guy disliked the difficulty of the simple level copy being too low. Is this still what people say? As expected, people are more irritating than others. Lin Fei couldn't understand the hardship of these people fighting hard in the dungeon. With the ghosts of the dead around, there is no need to do anything yourself. His leisurely trip was almost like an outing. So I eagerly hope to challenge a higher difficulty dungeon so that I can level up faster. We walked forward for more than 10 minutes. Lin Fei was keenly aware of the aura of a monster. The undead ghosts in front also stopped, finally met the boss. Lin Fei spotted the blue and black monster in front of him and couldn't help rubbing his hands with a smile on his face. Ghost Leopard. Level 4. Introduction. Predators on the grassland are known for their speed and terrifying lethality. Lin Fei glanced at Ghost Leopard's introduction, didn't take it to heart. Level 4 monsters are nothing in front of the undead ghosts and are not worthy of attention. He put his hands behind his head with a relaxed expression and said with a faint smile. It's really not easy to catch you. I'm in a hurry now, Ghost of the Dead, deal with him. A thought. After receiving the order, the undead ghost immediately rushed towards the ghost leopard. The ghost leopard shrank back and narrowed its eyes, as if facing a formidable enemy. Maybe he knew that the ghosts of the undead were very dangerous. The ghost leopard did not dare to confront the undead ghost head-on, so he turned his attention to Lin Fei, who was watching the show. With a howl, he dodged the ghost of the undead and rushed towards Lin Fei at an extremely fast speed. Innocent. Lin Fei noticed that the ghost leopard was charging towards him. He remained completely still and had no intention of avoiding it. Instead, he sneered in a cat and mouse tone. It's true that ghost leopard is good at speed, but undead ghost is also good at speed. Among its thinking attributes, the agility attribute has always been the highest. 220 points of agility. It's enough to beat the ghost leopard into pieces. No need for Lin Fei to give orders. The next second the undead ghost stood in front of him, and with lightning speed, he slapped the ghost leopard away. Thump. The ghost leopard was photographed dozens of meters away and rolled on the ground a dozen times. Hey, you're not dead yet. Lin Fei did not receive the prompt to increase his experience. He let out a sigh and found that the ghost leopard was not completely dead yet. As expected of a dungeon boss, his vitality is so tenacious that he didn't die even after being slapped by the undead ghost. Lin Fei clapped his hands and walked towards the ghost leopard step by step. It's a good thing that I'm not dead. I'm worried that the undead ghost is too strong and all the monsters will be killed with one slap, without giving me a chance to try the bone spur skill. Walked more than 30 meters. Lin Fei stopped after keeping a certain distance from the ghost leopard. Then use another skill in the skill bar on it. Bone spur. The next second, a bone spur with a sharp edge came out of the ground and penetrated directly through the ghost leopard lying on the ground. Blue blood flows along the bone spurs to the ground and soaks into the earth. The ghost leopard was lifted into the air by bone spurs, its internal organs were shattered, and it was too dead to die. Kill level 4 boss ghost leopard, experience plus 600. As expected of the boss of the dungeon, the experience gained from killing it is too much, which is worth 20 level 3 monsters. Lin Fei saw the prompt of increasing experience and felt happy. Now, the experience required for upgrading is directly enough. Lin Fei looked at the attribute panel and saw that the experience bar had turned to 100%, knowing that he was about to reach level 4. Name: Lin Fei. Occupation: Undead Lord, only. Level: 4. 1.57%. Life. 35. Strength. 40. Agility. 30. Mana. 50. Equipment. None. Backpack space. 0.25. Army. Undead Ghost. As the level increases, more arms can be unlocked. Skill. Bone Spur. Summon Undead Ghost. Bone Spurs. Consumes 15 mana points to summon bone spurs from the ground to attack the enemy, causing physical damage to the target. Summon the Undead Ghost. Spend 10 mana points to summon an Undead Ghost. Talent. Infinite Synthesis. Synthesize any number and type of items and summons to obtain items with corresponding random abilities and corresponding random levels. After upgrading to level 4, the situation is still the same as before. The 4-dimensional attributes each increase, and the backpack space also expands. Lin Fei was already familiar with this and didn't have much trouble in his heart. What he is looking forward to now is to upgrade his level to a higher level so that he can have the opportunity to unlock new arms. It is best to reach level 15 before the college entrance examination, unlock the rank 1 of the system, and maybe get new talent. Lin Fei closed the properties panel. The body of the ghost leopard was found to have disappeared. But there is an extra bottle of blue potion on the ground. This should be the item dropped by the dungeon booze. Lin Fei walked over and picked up the blue potion. Mana Recovery Potion. Level 4. Function. 40 points of mana can be restored after use. Level 4 Mana Recovery Potion. Not bad, not bad. Lin Fei smiled from ear to ear after reading the introduction. What he needs most now is the Mana Recovery Potion. As long as he is given enough mana, he can continuously summon undead ghosts for synthesis and continue to increase the combat power of the undead ghosts. Summon the ghosts of the dead. Lin Fei did not hesitate and immediately spent 50 points of mana to summon 5 undead ghosts. He also used a Mana Recovery Potion to restore 40 points of mana, and summoned 4 undead ghosts again. Including the one beside Lin Fei, there are 10 in total. Tuck them all into your backpack space. Divine level talent, unlimited synthesis. Lin Fei said something silently in his heart. 10 undead ghosts are instantly combined into one. Black Iron level undead ghost. Life. 160, Strength. 180. Agility. 270, Mana. 150, Skill. Strengthen. Consume 50 mana points to double the attack power for 30 seconds. Cooling time 1 hour. The 4-dimensional attributes of the undead ghost have increased a lot, and its overall strength is equivalent to a level 8 monster. The key is, this time through synthesis, the undead ghost has added a skill, Strengthening. Is the skill enhanced? Lin Fei looked at the attribute panel of the undead ghost and thought to himself, using this skill can double the attack power within 30 seconds. The power of the undead ghost is now 180, double it to 360. With such a strong attack power, it can fight even level 10 monsters. Think of this. Lin Fei is more confident about challenging the ordinary level copy next. After all, the boss of the ordinary level copy is only level 8. Even level 8 boss is much more powerful than ordinary level 8 monsters. But with enhanced skills, there is still hope for the undead ghost to defeat this level 8 boss. Think so. The space around Lin Fei suddenly began to distort. An inexplicable power suddenly blessed him, knowing that this is the copy that will teleport itself out after clearing the level. Lin Fei did not panic and allowed this force to send him out of the copy. Copy square. 6 or 7 hours have passed since entering the instance. The vast majority of people continue to challenge within the dungeon. Only a very small number of people were sent out in advance by copies because they encountered danger. All of these people have livelihood occupations, either farmers or blacksmiths. There is nothing that can be done about being teleported ahead of time. After all, when they enter the dungeon, they can bully level 0 monsters without combat power. They have to stay away from level 1 monsters, which is difficult to deal with. This is probably the tragedy of life professionals. Combat power is too low. Even if they were given the opportunity to participate in the novice copy trial, they would not be able to pass it. And The novice copy is probably their only chance to participate in actual combat in this life. The college entrance examination is in 1 week. Even if they were eligible to participate, they would not go. A group of freshmen who are level 1 and level 2 life professionals are taking the college entrance examination. They may not even be able to pass the first level, so it's better not to embarrass themselves. If nothing unexpected happens, after the novice copy is over, they will have to make their own way. Basically, he has to be trapped in the city for the rest of his life, barely supporting his family by doing various side jobs. The next few decades. If you are lucky, if you earn more money, you can buy some low-level experience potions and upgrade yourself to a low grade. Of course, it can only be upgraded to level 4 or level 5 at most. Just like Lin Fei's parents, they worked hard all their lives and barely managed to raise their level to level 5. If you are unlucky, you may remain at level 1 or level 2 for the rest of your life, with no chance of improvement. Unless they can encounter the divine weapon of defying the heavens and changing fate, such as the job transfer scroll, they can change their profession into a main combat profession and realize the true defying the heavens and changing fate. But basically there is no hope. Many people may not even have heard of the name Scroll of Job Change. Jin De, the principal of number 2 middle school, and Wang, the principal of number 1 middle school, were sitting on chairs next to them, chatting. At this point, everyone should have entered the level 2 area. Principal Wang looked down at the time and made a rough judgment on everyone's progress based on past experience. Of course, everyone here refers to those auxiliary professionals and main combat professionals. As for life professionals, in his eyes, they are just a bunch of soybeans and are not worthy of attention at all. No, if you hurry up, you should have entered the depths of the level 2 area, or even close to the level 3 area. Principal Jin replied boredly. It has only been 6 or 7 hours since the students entered. It will take at least 5 or 6 hours for someone to clear the customs. During this period, they could only wait patiently and do nothing. The simple level dungeon is just for practice. The difficulty is very low. Principal Wang continued. Basically everyone can pass the level. It's just a matter of speed. Yes. Principal Jin nodded in agreement and continued. After they pass the level, they can basically be promoted to level 2, and the more powerful ones can be promoted to level 3. It's good to be able to get to level 3 on the first day. On the first day, he was promoted to at least level 6, which was a requirement for talented students like Lin Fei. For most people, reaching level 3 on the first day is considered qualified. After all, if you reach level 8 in 1 week, you can be admitted to a higher education institution. Unless you want to hit the top 100 prestigious schools, you need to upgrade to level 9, level 10 or even higher. I don't worry about groups of 3 or 2 people at all. I just don't know what's going on with those students who just cleared the dungeon. Principal Wang was full of curiosity, but he couldn't see what was going on in the dungeon, so he could only rely on his own guesses. According to last year's experience, it is basically no problem to clear the level of hidden professions and rare professions alone. Principal Jin said eloquently. As for the main combat professions, it depends on luck. Good luck, I can clear the level in a single brush. If you're not lucky, we'll form a team and try again. This is a cliché. Principal Wang nodded in agreement and sighed. I hope they can rush into the level 3 area. In this way, even if they fail, there is a high probability that they can be promoted to level 3. I hope so. Principal Jin said with emotion. Although one person can monopolize all the experience, the speed will be much slower and cannot be compared to those in a group with a few people. Even if they succeed, it will probably take them 14 to 5 hours. Of course, Lin Fei and Lu Zi will be exceptions. There will definitely be no problem within 12 hours. Let's see if they can bring us a bigger surprise. Haha. Principal Wang smiled and said nothing. Of course he hoped that Lu Zi could clear the level in a shorter time and beat Lin Fei. Lu Zi was the first among everyone to enter the dungeon. It was 2 hours earlier than Lin Fei entered the dungeon. In other words, he has been in the dungeon for 8 hours now. According to empirical calculations, Lu Zi should have already entered the level 3 area, and Lin Fei estimated that he had just entered the level 3 area. Come on Lu Zi, you have to pass the level as fast as possible and crush number 2 middle school to death. Principal Wang secretly encouraged Lu Zi in his heart. While the two were talking, At the entrance to the dungeon ahead, the space suddenly became distorted. Many people were attracted by this movement. Someone else is coming out. I don't know which unlucky guy it is. I guess he was teleported out when he was in danger just like us. He should also be a life professional. Everyone was already used to it, and they were still in the mood to joke and chat. The next second, Lin Fei's figure appeared at the entrance. Lin Fei. Principal Jin recognized the person clearly and couldn't sit still. How could it be him? It has only been 6 hours since he entered the dungeon. Why did he come out? Could it be that he was sent out because he encountered an irresistible danger? It shouldn't be. The difficulty of the simple level dungeon is very low, so there shouldn't be any dangers that he can't deal with. Principal Jin's eyes widened and he couldn't figure out why Lin Fei was suddenly teleported. Principal Wang on the side thought for a moment, showed a meaningful smile, raised the corners of his mouth, and deliberately teased. It's really surprising. Lin Fei actually came out so early. Lu Zi went in 2 hours earlier than him and is still staying inside. Not to mention Lu Zi, none of the other people who just cleared the simple level dungeon came out. The implication is that Lin Fei is too incompetent, not even as good as a main combat professional, and he couldn't hold on after only 6 hours. Principal Jin's face suddenly turned ugly. Principal Wang didn't speak anymore, but he was holding back his laughter, and his heart had already blossomed with joy. Unexpected, unexpected. This guy turned out to be a hydrangea pillow, a useless thing. Fortunately, I had been worried before that this boy had awakened the only hidden profession, and the awakening vision was so big that he would be Lu Zi's strong enemy. Now it seems. I was completely overly worried. This kid is no match for Lu Zi. Not even comparable to those main combat professionals. After entering the simple level dungeon for only 6 hours, he was teleported back. This result was simply appalling. The life professionals who were teleported back early in the dungeon square had similar thoughts to the two of them after being surprised. They all thought that Lin Fei encountered danger in the dungeon and was teleported out in advance. I couldn't help but gloat in my heart. Those with dignified hidden professions actually ended up with the same fate as these other lifestyle professions. It's really hilarious. Fortunately, the vision was so loud yesterday. It's actually so useless. Lin Fei, why did you come out? Principal Jin stood up from his seat, walked quickly to Lin Fei, and asked with concern. Did you encounter any danger? No. Lin Fei shook his head and said unhurriedly. After killing all the monsters, they came out. After killing all the monsters, they came out. Principal Jin was stunned for a moment. Lin Fei said it too indifferently, as if it was just a trivial matter. But after Principal Jin reacted, his heart was in turmoil. You killed all the monsters and cleared the level? Principal Jin's voice couldn't help but raise 3 points. He quickly checked Lin Fei's level. Lin Fei, Undead Lord, level 4. Level 4. Really level 4? Principal Jin knows very well that only by killing all the monsters in the dungeon and passing the level can he upgrade his level to level 4. It's just that for a moment he couldn't believe it was true. Is this clear? Oh my god, only 6 hours had passed since he entered the dungeon. How is this done? It took me 12 hours to form a team to conquer simple level dungeons. Lin Fei spent half the time doing it by himself. Isn't this too exaggerated? If it hadn't been for this, it would have happened right under my nose. He couldn't believe it no matter what. Joke. Clear the simple level dungeon in 6 hours. I don't even brag like this. If he remembered correctly, Lin Fei's result had far exceeded the fastest time record for clearing a simple level dungeon in the history of Riverside City. This really made history. Principal Jin was overjoyed. He was so lucky to have such a genius come out of number 2 middle school. He couldn't help but turn his head and glance triumphantly at Principal Wang, who was sitting in his seat as if struck by lightning. Principal Wang naturally also saw that Lin Fei had been promoted to level 4. Knowing that he was not teleported out in danger, but had already cleared the level. My heart suddenly felt like 10,000 grass and mud horses were galloping past. Thinking back to what he said against Principal Jin just now, his face felt hot. This is so embarrassing. He raised his head and looked at Lin Fei with strange eyes. Fear. Horrible. It takes only 6 hours to clear the simple level dungeon, which is unthinkable. Lu Zi entered 2 hours earlier than him and is still stuck in the dungeon. He may not be able to clear the level in another 2 or 3 hours. Not to mention those main combat professions, they are not even as good as Lu Zi, and there is no comparison with Lin Fei. What kind of shitty luck did this guy Jinda have? How could such a monster come out of number 2 middle school? Principal Wang looked envious and jealous, wishing he could snatch Lin Fei over to become a student of number 1 middle school. Then he remembered his initial confrontation with Jinda. Jinda said that Lin Fei could clear the level in 9 hours. I thought he was bragging. It turns out that I wasn't bragging, and I kept it to myself. No, it took Lin Fei 6 hours to clear the level, think of this. Principal Wang gritted his teeth. There was a hint of resentment in Principal Jin's eyes. This old boy must have known how powerful Lin Fei was. He was acting with me from the beginning, digging holes for me and deliberately making me look embarrassed. Pretending to be like that. Especially the surprised look Lin Fei put on when he was teleported out just now. Those who don't know really think that this guy doesn't know. It turns out that this old boy was all pretending. The purpose is to seduce yourself into making a fool of yourself. Principal Wang, who was deeply embarrassed, stubbornly believed that Principal Jin was digging a hole for himself to make himself look embarrassed. Principal Jin, who had no idea about this, was laughing loudly, patting Lin Fei on the shoulder, and kept saying, "Well done, I really saw the right person. It took 6 hours to clear the level, you really gave me a big surprise. When I go back, I will hang your grades on the wall to set an example for all the students in number 2 middle school in the future." Lin Fei twitched the corner of his mouth, thinking that this is too exaggerated. But you are the principal and you have the final say. The students nearby who were teleported back in advance also heard Principal Jin's words. Everyone froze on the spot, dumbfounded. Clear the simple level dungeon in 6 hours? Didn't he fail to pass the level and be teleported back? Everyone who was gloating in their hearts suddenly realized how ridiculous their previous thoughts were. Looking at Lin Fei's figure again, he suddenly felt like he was standing tall on a mountain. Is this the power of hidden professions? They can only stand there and look up for the rest of their lives, and they will never be able to compare. Principal, next I am going to conquer the ordinary level copy. Lin Fei did not notice the change in the expressions of the people around him, but said sternly to Principal Jin in front of him. No problem. Principal Jin nodded without thinking, and then asked with concern. You just came out of the dungeon, do you want to rest for a while? No need. Lin Fei shook his head. I'm not tired at all, you can continue. He is telling the truth. In the dungeon, all the monsters were dealt with by the undead ghosts, and he walked for a while, which was easier than an outing. The only thing that contributed was to use the bone spur skill to hit the dungeon boss, but this didn't consume much physical energy at all. Okay. Go ahead and give it a try. Principal Jin had nothing to say after hearing this, but he did not forget to say. Don't be too reluctant, just try your best. If you can't pass the level, form a team and try again. Even though he said so, but in his heart, he had more expectations for Lin Fei. Clear the simple level dungeon in 6 hours. This strength has far exceeded his expectations. Last year, Lin Shui spent 11 hours clearing the simple level dungeon. When he was clearing the ordinary level dungeon alone, he almost killed the boss. Lin Fei is even more powerful than Lin Shui, so he might actually have a chance to clear the ordinary level dungeon by himself. Riverside City has not seen a student who has cleared the ordinary level dungeon in many years. Thinking of this, Principal Jin felt hot in his heart. Watching Lin Fei enter the dungeon again. With a smile on his lips, Principal Jin turned around and walked back to Principal Wang. After sitting back in his seat, he pretended to sigh. It's really surprising. Lin Fei actually cleared the level so early. Lu Zi went in 2 hours earlier than him, so he should stay inside now. These were the exact words that Principal Wang just said to gloat and belittle Lin Fei. Now Principal Jin's true words were returned. It's just that the meaning is completely opposite to what it was before. Principal Wang's face was ashen and he said nothing. I became more and more convinced that this guy had been digging holes for himself. But he couldn't refute, he could only knock it out of his teeth and swallow it in his stomach. Who would let him have a good student to earn him enough face? But I still don't want to admit defeat. Snort. So what if you lose in the novice dungeon trial? Don't be happy too early. There are still 6 days left before the college entrance examination. It's not certain who will win. Lu Zi may not be able to surpass Lin Fei. Principal Wang secretly gritted his teeth and planned to do his best to help Lu Zi in the next few days, so that Lu Zi could overtake in corners and not lose to Lin Fei. I heard that a level 10 secret realm was newly discovered outside the city. It is very suitable for new students. The city lord has ordered it to be sealed. If you clear the new dungeon for the first time, both experience and rewards will be very generous. I will go to the city lord's mansion tonight to ask for a place for Lu Zi. Riverside City. It was already 2 o'clock in the afternoon. The blazing sun was baking every place in the city. Mom and Dad left the villa under the scorching sun and came to the Professionals Guild in the center of the city. There was a constant flow of people coming and going at the entrance of the guild. Mom and Dad entered the guild in a familiar way, and were led by a waiter to a room inside the guild. The room was large and empty, looking very empty. Only a huge mirror-like device stood in the center of the room. This is a device specially designed for long-distance communication. Since the fusion of games and reality, all humans gathered in settlement cities. A large area outside the city is occupied by various beasts and monsters. The communication-based stations originally established in the scientific and technological era have long been destroyed. Moreover, from there, Blue Star was flooded with all kinds of interference signals, and all communication methods in the technological era failed. The communication between various cities once returned to the original letters. It was not until later that new materials with various properties emerged. Humans on Blue Star have used various new materials to recreate new communication devices. The communication between cities is now divided into real-time communication and non-real-time communication. Non-real-time communication is similar to radio in the technological era. Send a message to the guild of this city, and the guild of another city will forward it to you after receiving it. The price is cheap and the speed is not slow. Most people will choose this method to communicate. As for real-time communication, perfected being images can appear to facilitate conversation and communication. It's just that both parties need to agree on a time in advance, and the location must be in a designated room within the guild. Moreover, the price of real-time communication is very expensive, and not everyone is qualified to use it. Thanks to Lin Shui's admission to Longguo Vocational University, Mom and Dad have several opportunities to communicate with Lin Shui in real time every year. They had made an appointment long before that Lin Fei would communicate once after changing his job. That's why Mom and Dad came to the guild at this time. Along the way, they were in a good mood, because the son has awakened to the only hidden profession. The principal personally came to pick up his son this morning to participate in the novice copy trial. You value your son so much. My son definitely has a bright future. If my daughter knew the news, she would definitely be very happy. My parents had contacted Lin Shui several times before, so I am already very familiar with the communication process. I saw my father start the device with ease. After some operations, the image of his daughter Lin Shui appeared in the mirror. Dad, Mom, are you okay at home? Lin Shui opened her mouth with concern for her parents' condition. It's good. The parents were very happy to see their daughter again, with smiles on their faces. Everything is fine at home. That's good. Lin Shui nodded reassuringly and asked again. My brother changed jobs yesterday, right? What profession did he awaken to? Well, the job change has been completed. Mom nodded. The smile on her face deepened. She couldn't suppress the joy in her heart, and said to Lin Shui with joy. Xiao Fei has awakened the only hidden job, the Undead Lord. And when I woke up, the vision was so big that the entire Riverside City saw it. Really? Lin Shui was stunned for a moment, unable to believe her ears. Really? Dad nodded in a low voice. That's great. Lin Shui jumped up excitedly, her face overflowing with joy, and her heart finally let go. Yes, yes. Mom said with a smile. When we first heard the news, we were all shocked. We didn't expect Xiao Fei to be so powerful and be able to awaken the only hidden profession. Dad stood aside and nodded in agreement. This is a great good thing for our family. Yes. Lin Shui nodded and said with longing, "My brother has awakened the only hidden profession, and he has a great chance of being admitted to our school. Maybe I can meet him at school next week." Her parents laughed from ear to ear and continued to listen to her ask, "Isn't my brother going to take part in the novice dungeon trial today?" "He's gone." When she mentioned this, my mother couldn't wait to say, "The principal even came to pick him up at home in person." Lin Shui was not surprised at all that the principal valued his younger brother so much. "The novice copy is not a problem for my younger brother, at least it will not be worse than me last year. I just don't know if he can clear the ordinary level copy alone. I didn't make it last year and hopefully he can." Lin Shui now had great confidence in Lin Fei and said with anticipation, "There are still 6 days until the college entrance examination. Let my brother prepare well and get a good result. We will communicate again after my brother's college entrance examination is over." "Yeah, okay." The mother agreed, and then asked her daughter with concern, "Xiao Shui, how are you doing at school? I can see that you have lost weight. Are you tired?" "I'm fine. I've been losing weight during this period." Of course Lin Shui would not say that she had been training crazily all day long, and just made up a random reason to comfort her parents. "That's good." Mom felt relieved. "I'm fine here, don't worry," Lin Shui said with a relaxed look. "I will go home during the Chinese New Year. If my brother can be admitted to our school, we can go home together during the Chinese New Year." "Yes, we understand." Dad also felt relieved, nodded and said, "Take care of yourself at school." After Lin Shui hummed, her figure disappeared in the mirror. The cost of real-time communication is very high, so time is also very limited. Once the time is up, it will be automatically interrupted. After the communication ended, the parents went home and waited, hoping that their son would get good results in the novice trial. On the other side, Lin Shui exhaled heavily after seeing her parents disappear, and she couldn't help but clenched her fists, with a smile on her face. "Are you done talking?" Qin Shuang opened the door to the room a crack, revealing a head. Lin Shui hid her smile and nodded. Seeing her cheerful look, Qin Shuang knew that the result was good. Pushing open the door and entering the room, he walked towards her and joked, "Look at how happy you are. It seems that your brother's job transfer is going well. Are you awakening the main combat profession or the rare profession?"